They said the truth won't survive beside the lies that maintain the decaying faces of display.
Oh, what's up, man? What's up, everybody? Give me a minute. Yeah, what's good? I'm gonna share the link quick. Let some people know. What we doing up here. You know what I'm saying? Oh, visionary, what's good, man? I'm all good, bro. What's up, man? It's gonna be won't be long, but it's gonna be a very important stream. Let me just put the let me send it out quick. Give me a minute. Give me 1 second. What's up, man? Uncle Guns, what's good, man? Well, I mean, this stream. In fact, give me 1 more minute. I gotta do one more thing. Give me 1 second. 1 second, everybody. Yeah. So, what's good, man? Well, yeah, I'm about to drop the Discord. One of the very important aspects of this stream will be, getting people to join the Discord, man. Yeah, I'm dropping it right now. Give me 1 minute. I'm gonna pin it. Give me 1 second. Uh, man. Yeah, my bad, man. YouTube just makes it extremely hard to just pin your damn post for some reason. But let's get to what this the reason I'm sharing the Discord is that the only way to bypass YouTube, for the notifications is through Discord. You know what I mean? It's through Discord, and what I'm gonna be doing every 5 minutes or so, I'll be sharing the Discord link and let you know what's going on. You know what I mean? All the spotlight is Well, I mean, to me with the WW3 thing is this, man. A lot of people are just taking the news at face value. You know, it's funny how, people will say, yo, the news isn't true, the news isn't logical. Oh, BRP was good, man. Dang, it's been a minute, man. It was good, bro. My brother, yo, BRP was good, man. yeah, a lot of people taking the news at face value, man. You know, it's funny how we'll say, oh, the news is a lie and the news isn't telling you the truth. But as soon as the news is covering what's going on in another country, now we want to believe everything. You know what I mean? Want to believe everything the news is saying. Well, they would be lying on us, but they're telling the truth on other countries. That's where you get some of that perspective that people are just looking for bad news from other countries. You know what I mean? I don't trust CNN, I don't trust MSNBC, I don't trust anything they report, man, whether it be foreign or domestic. You know what I'm saying? We've seen what they've done here domestically, where they try to parade peace during buildings being burned during a riot. You know what I mean? There's no reason to trust the news at all, man. The way I look at it, you know, your best bet, you only can trust something within a, I guess, how close it happens to you. You know what I mean? Some aspects of the news are predictable. Okay, somebody got shot, somebody got killed. You know what I mean? Oh, what's good, David Little? What's up, man? You know what I mean? You could trust some of that. Or somebody got shot, somebody got killed. That's the news. That happens. You could believe that, but the rest, come on, man. What I mean? I wouldn't trust the news if they told me we'd give you a piece of toilet paper for your nose. If you know what I mean, if my nose was running and a news station offered me a piece of paper just to wipe my nose, I would have been, I'm good. I got hands, man. I don't trust that paper you're giving me, man. The news has become nothing more than a form of marketed manipulation, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah, it was good, Medican. Yeah, it's marketed manipulation. And I mean, with YouTube being what it is, you don't want to say too many words, you know what I mean? Because they're gonna throttle or they're gonna ban you, whatever. This is why the way I look at it, let me see, how would you reference that country? Yeah, all right, we're gonna reference it with vodka. I'm gonna use the word vodka. You should know what that word means and what it originates from. You know what I'm saying? They're saying we have a war on vodka. You know what I mean? They're saying we got a war on vodka. And one of my boys told me what happened is the I'm gonna have to switch the word, the Ukraine, you know what I'm saying? One of my boys told me what happened is the Ukraine had a you know, damn, how do you say? Yeah, they had a Hitler. Damn, maybe YouTube has this word even blocked, but he said the Ukraine had a Hitler party problem. You know what I'm saying? They had a Hitler party problem. Damn, can I even say that word? Uh, Fuck, man. Yeah, they had a Hitler problem in the Ukraine. My boy told me there was a Hitler problem, a Hitler club problem. You know what I'm saying? A Hitler club problem in the Ukraine. And my boy told me that vodka, you know what I'm saying? Vodka wanted to stop that. They've been warning the Ukraine for over 10 years. You have a Hitler club party in your country, in the military, and they're killing. You know what I mean? They're harming. In fact, I can't use the word kill. They're making decease our people. So you know what I mean? Uh, you know, in fact, I think I can use the word Russia. Yeah, Russia was basically warning the Ukraine that you got a Hitler club party problem in your country, and they're killing our own people, and we need you to stop that. And the Ukraine never listened. So then you have some problems between them. Because I mean, if you trust American news has no critical thinking. American news is just, yup, they did this, so this is happening. It's all reactionary. There is no critical thinking. Why do they have issues between these countries that it's led to an invasion? You know what I mean? They're not explaining that. They're not gonna go into deeper detail. I mean, It's American news. American news is basically, in all honesty, American news is Gatorade. You know what I mean? It's not clear water. It's just Gatorade, man. You know what I mean? And you got a lot of people just watching, oh, this is true, because it's how it is. People have been wired domestically that, well, if it isn't happening to us, it's 100% true. You know what I mean? It's 100% true. You could trust it. There's no questions about it. You know what I mean? When in reality, man, we all know what's going on. You couldn't trust the American news provider. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even trust, even if a news reporter, a news station told me, hey, cross the street, the stoplight is red. I would have been, I would have been, well, why do you want me to cross the street when the stop sign is red? Why would you have to tell me this? You know what I mean? Is there a setup? Is something going on? You know what I mean? And so you can't trust the goddamn news, man. You know what I mean? You can't trust them at all. But give me 1 second. Uh, you know, black pill. Give me a second. No, no, give me a second. Lonely. Yeah, yeah, man. Let me see this. Yeah, this stream is gonna be you know, about the black pill loneliness, man. There's a lot of people claiming to be alone, and what I'm saying, we're alone in this shout out to Caduceus, man. He said something groundbreaking, what I'm saying? He said the black pill isn't, oh, what's good, Spec? What's up, man? You know what I'm saying? He said the black pill isn't a community. And Caduceus is, to me, is right at the same time. He's right, and there's two rights to this. A lot of times we've been taught there's only right and wrong, when in reality, there's two rights, three rights, four rights. There's a high level of rights, what I mean, damn near infinite. I mean, 9 plus 1 is 10, what I mean, 8 plus 2 is 10, 7 plus 3 is 10. So they're all right. They're all right. So how come there's no multiple rights? So Caduceus said, what I mean, it's not a community, and he's correct. And at the same time, there's an alternative point to that it is a community, and the problem becomes that, why? Why is the black pill a community? That's what a lot of people aren't thinking about. It's because this is how far removed from logic our society has become, that, what I'm saying, the basics, you got to form a community around critical thinking. What I'm saying? That's how anti-logical our society has become, to where, you walk outside and you tell somebody, yeah, dude, if you touch the fire, you could get burned. You know what I'm saying? Really, in reality, that's what this whole black pill spear and has become. It's really a bunch of guys have huddled up together, huddled up around the critical facts and logic, saying, yo, we're right. You know what I mean? You're right. And the reason I bring this up is that, there's a lot of guys saying, they're lonely or whatever. Dude, you're not alone. Knowing the black pill truth, and a lot of people, the reason I'll shout out to the homie who used to run the black pill truth channel, you know what I mean? The reason I'm gonna start saying black pill truth from now on is because saying the regular truth, it's too generic, man. You can't say truth anymore, man. Most suspicious when the woke ran. Yeah. You know what I mean? I've heard about how African students are being treated as the are trying to flee. They were rejected from entering Poland, and yeah, the UK in the bus. Yeah, but I mean, this is the thing people need to start understanding, man. There's a price. There's always a price, man, for freedom There's a price for leaving your country. There is always a price that must be paid, man. For example, let's say you're fleeing Canada because of everything going on, and you move to let's say you move to Poland from Canada. Now you're going to have to deal with how Poland treats you. And let's be honest, you're not priority. You're not a citizen. You're not born and raised there. You know what I'm saying? So you're not going to be priority. There is always a price. And the problem we have in this victimhood society where they advertise victimhood as though, you know what I'm saying? Oh, it's just happened. He's a victim. You see what I mean? There's no critical thinking. If you ran a country, your priority would be the ones, and it would be in this order: the people born and raised in your country. You know what I'm saying? Then the people that are second generation born and raised, it would be in order of birth, you know what I'm saying, to your country. You wouldn't just be, oh man, the first people we're gonna let out are people that aren't our citizens or aren't born in our country. And then again, you're fleeing the country. You know what I'm saying? You got to think about what fleeing a country creates. You might be creating some chaos and unorganization that distracts the country during conflict. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't think the critical aspect of it. That's what the news is for. The news is basically anti-critical messaging. You know what I'm saying? Or look at the Africans that are trying to leave, and they're not letting them on. They're not priority, man. And then with everything going on, you know, you're having a battle in your country. You're gonna worry about people fleeing. That's gonna be your main objective. Let's focus on people fleeing. Then if you're this other country, you got taxes, you got so much going on. Just let other people in, and we don't have. It's not organized. You know what I mean? So to me, man, it's the last thing I would trust is the news, man. The news is feeding you nothing but crap. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can highlight the link again. So give me 1 second. Let me close out the camera for 1 second. All right. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, it's been pinned. I pinned the link. Join the Discord, man. The reason you gotta join the Discord, we can talk on there, and can bypass, because at the end of the day, man, YouTube is shadow banned me anyway. You know, and I accept it. It is what it is. I mean, it's their site, their website. They want to shadow ban you. It is what it is, man. I'm not upset about it. You know what I mean? You just learn. But like I said, man, you got a lot of guys in this community, saying they're alone and all that. But dude, you ain't alone, bro. You're not alone because you're logical. You know what I mean? They want you to validate your existence through acceptance. You know what I mean? That's the biggest trope we're in society right now. Everything, you must validate your existence through acceptance. And that's the major lie they're pitching and they're selling. You know what I mean? You gotta look at the historians that went to settle unclaimed, unknown lands. They went to settle unknown lands. Did they bring anybody? Did they know what was there? No. They just knew, well, there's an opportunity on this unsettled land, and I'm gonna go there to adventure and try to better my life, man. And it doesn't matter if other people don't come with me. And what's going on is, in this anti-critical thinking society, is that they want you to validate your existence through acceptance. They want you to validate everything you say with, well, okay, you said touching fire will burn you. Well, how many people agree with you? You know what I mean? They always bring up that middle ground. How many people agree with you? How many people agree that if you put your hands on a stove while the fire's on, that you'll get burned? How many people agree with you? You know what I mean? They always want you to to put some others around you to agree. That's the big level of manipulation they're grifting, and it's what our society has become. I'd say since it probably went heavy around probably the 1940s, whatever, but that's the big grift now. The biggest grift you got in society is, it doesn't matter if you're right at all, because why would why would what you say matter if you don't have enough people accepting it? You know what I mean? It's funny how you go on Facebook, you go on YouTube, and that's what our society really is now. You know, domestically, it's about how many people follow you. You know what I mean? How many people follow what you're saying? It doesn't matter if it's right. It doesn't matter if it's wrong. It's all about the numbers. How many people, how many sheep? Well, in fact, I wouldn't say sheep. Damn, I'm trying to think of an animal that would just, yeah, there it is. Yeah, how many dogs? You know what I mean? How many dogs follow you? You know what I mean? How many dogs are part of your pack? You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if you're right anymore. It doesn't matter at all. Doesn't matter if you're wrong. It's like we have in this country with, I'm a center left. I'm a center right. I'm a leftist. I'm a rightist. I'm a conservative. Yeah, dude, who cares, bro? Who cares that you're so committed to a standing that you will ignore what they've done, whether it's right or wrong? You're just basically saying, I'm a follower. I follow the left. I follow the right. I follow the center. I'm a moderate. I follow the moderate. I follow the conservatives. I follow traditionalists. You follow. You know what I'm saying? There is no critical thinking beyond you following. You know what I mean? Anybody could follow something. You know what I mean? Anybody could toucan Sam, follow your nose. You know what I mean? Follow the smell. So I follow any group without thinking. You know what I mean? And what's happening in the black pill sector, and why I put it's black pill versus the gray pill, is that a lot of guys are falling for it. You know what I mean? And I talk to a lot of people, and I tell people this, man, the majority of the black pill community is gray pilled, man. The majority of guys on here are gray pilled because more people have experience being a part of society and the domestic, paths and the domestic directions than they are being on their own. So a lot more people are gray pilled because the thing is this, dude, if for example, you know that, touching fire on the stove will burn you. You know what I mean? You already know that. You know that is the black pill truth. You know that it will burn you. Why would you care, or why would you need anybody to confirm it when you touching it would burn you? You already know. You know what I mean? And a lot of guys are being manipulated to thinking that, well, if I don't have a certain amount of people confirming the way I think, then it's wrong, or I'm alone. Dude, you ain't alone. You know what I mean? It's like water is wet. If it rains, water touches you, it's wet. Who do I need to confirm that water is wet? You know what I'm saying? I don't need no confirmation, man. I'm aware of it and I'm gonna go towards it. And a lot of guys are calling themselves, I'm black pilled, I'm feeling alone. And here's the thing about this whole black pill loneliness thing that's going on is that, dude, we're at a point where you can have conversations and you can build a community with people. And we've been at this point since probably '05, or since the email, you know what I mean? Heavily since social media came on. You could communicate with people without ever meeting them. Forums, you could build forums together with people you've never met. All you know about them is if they stand with you on the same logical foundation. You know what I mean? So this whole theory of loneliness, I mean, shout out to some of the homies on here, Some of the homies are in Brazil. Some of the homies are in Australia. Yo, some people, you know what I mean, on this YouTube I've talked to, yo, they all over, you know, and we just talk and communicate, you know what I mean? And we no one here, most people through this community never met each other. You know what I mean? The closest most people got to meeting each other was doing a live stream and you know, talking, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? You can't devalue communication because it ain't physical. Oh, I didn't see this person physically. You know what I mean? I didn't see him physically, so I can't count it. Once you start doing that, you start limiting what is a community, and you start limiting interactions with other people. You know what I mean? So in all honesty, oh damn, what's good, man? What's up? You know, and you know, I'm gonna open the you know the conversation because you know this stream really I don't really have a lot to you know this isn't one of those usual streams where I'd have something to talk about for hours or whatever. You know, this is just about you know talking about what's going on. There's a lot of guys on here saying they're alone and all that. You know what I mean? Saying they're alone when in reality, yo, you got a community, dude. You're talking to people you could contact, and you know, sub to the Discord. You know, if you want to keep in contact and you want to talk to other like-minded people because that whole loneliness thing it's a lie, man. It's guys hanging on to what the domestic society and these other people are claiming what's you know what's not loneliness. If you decide to relocate and have a son overseas, how would you raise your son in today's world? Well, I mean, I'm gonna tell you guys something, man, and I think I'm one of the only people who have understood what's going on with this. You know, some people might say, "Oh, I'm a little off," you know what I'm saying? But the people that are based, you know, people that are based and understand this will agree 100% on what I'm saying. You know, when you go overseas, you know that the world, you know, you can time travel. You know, a lot of guys think, yo, time traveling is when you use a machine, when you use a car, you know, back to the future maxing with the Mandalorian, whatever that the DeLorean. No, dude, when you travel overseas, you literally, this is why I keep telling guys you got to pursue the gold pill. Is that, dude, when you travel, when you look at the world, you understand that, dude, you can time travel. For example, there are certain parts of this world where it's still the 1600s. You know what I'm saying? The technology is still back in the past. You can go to certain parts of the world where you have access to no technology at all. You know, you could go back to the primitive times. You know what I mean? You can time travel, man, in the world. Now, when it comes to raising your child overseas, a lot of guys make it harder than it is. For example, you have to make sure that it's within a close vicinity. For example, you know, I'm talking to the guys, let's say Canada. Let's say you're in Canada and you're in the US. You can move. Let's say you wanted to start a family in Mexico. A lot of guys say, why do I keep referencing Mexico? Well, dude, I'm in the US. I'm going to focus on the closest place. So if you're in Europe, you might go to Eastern Europe or something, you know. But the reason I'm bringing up Mexico is this, dude. Let's be honest here. Now, let's say you have a kid domestically. You know, you come from work, you know, you come from work and your wife is here, whatever, domestically. How much time do you have, honestly, to spend with your kids? How much? Now, let's say it's about, let's be kind. Let's say you're working a day job. Let's say about a couple hours, probably 2 to 4 hours. Now, why do I say you got limited time? Because, well, you're gonna have to deal with the marital issues that come with being married domestically. You come home, you got to talk to the wife, you got to calm her down, or you got to listen to this crap and that crap. when honestly you just want to come home, greet your family. You don't want to deal with none of the stress or issues that don't exist because we're in a consumer based society. And what does that mean? That means that, yo, if you're not part of what role does having a family play in being in a consumer society? Now let's look at it. Can you buy a family? No. Can you purchase a family? No. So that means if you're in a society where consumption is the main goal, then your family has no value. You know what I'm saying? Let's be honest. We're in the US, we're in a mostly consumer-based society. Let me bring up NFTs, crypto. Let's bring up stocks. What is all this? I'm mentioning it's consumption. It's something you have to purchase. A Lamborghini, big cars. What is this? This is all about consumption. And I'm about to drop a heavy, what I'm saying? I'm about to drop a nuclear black pill going nuclear. I don't think that's safe. I'm dropping a black pill on you that's going to break most guys here. You know, you got this whole high value man scam that's been going on. You got to be a high value man. And you want to know the biggest scam of the high value man is that it's about ignoring the fact that having a family it doesn't fit in the consumeristic society. And the society we're in, everything that has value is based on purchase. And the reason I bring this up, shout out to the homie Visionary for asking that question, is that let me explain to you why your relationships domestically have no value, why your girlfriend, boyfriend, relationship dynamics have no value because it's solely been promoted from a perspective of the man must pay. Now let's break it down. Let me bring up my great, I had a legendary stream on this. I broke it down, the modern relationship, and let me bring back this photo. Boom. Look at this photo. You know what I'm saying? Look at this photo. This is the modern dating scene. This is what's going on. And the reason I'm bringing this up is this: your relationships have no consumer value. If you can't pay for a relationship, it has no value. Now, one thing they've been scamming men on is this whole high value man scam that's been going on. Once women can work, and once a woman can work and a man can work, if there are no investments in that relationship, then it has no value. Let me repeat this. If there are no investments in the relationship from both parties, it has no value. Now, what do I mean by this? That means if you as a man, you go on a date with a woman and you're the only one who paid, it means that you're the only one who values the relationship because you're the only one that inserted investment in the relationship. You got a lot of PUA coaches teaching men game and all this BS that basically is based on the 19, I would say it's based on this is how obsolete the PUA dating coaches narrative is. It's based on the 1920s or 1940s perspective before the women worked, before women were working. That's what it's based on. Because, yo, if you're a girl, if you take a woman out and she's willing to show you that she spent money on a Prada bag, she spent money on these nice shoes, she spent money on everything else except the relationship, then what value does this relationship have? It has no value because she did not make an investment of money and currency into this relationship. And this is one of the major issues. And, feel free. I get a lot of questions. Guys, feel free to clip it. If you want to clip something, do it. It don't matter to me. But what you got to understand and why I keep Visionary's question on here about, if you decide to relocate and have a son overseas, how would you raise your son in today's world. The reason I keep this up is that you have to understand, why would you have a child domestically? Now, if you don't have, legal awareness, or if you're doing it based on faith and based on domestic attachments, you will reap what you sow. But the reason I'm saying this is this, dude, we're in a society where they openly, you watch Kevin Samuels stream and you could tell Kevin Samuels has no logical or critical thinking at all. You know what I'm saying? And you have to understand, from the perspective he speaks of, he's anti-male, because what is his first question? He asked the woman, how much money should the man make? How many figures should he make? How many children do you want? It's not about what the woman wants, man. It's about what the man wants. If a man wants 3 children and the woman wants 5, it don't matter. It's about what the man wants and her contributing and following his goals. It doesn't matter what she wants. We got a couple guys in the manosphere that I'm with my girl and she doesn't want children. Then she's the leader, bro. You're not, you're just a little pet. If you as a man are in a relationship with your girl and you said, yo, I wanna make a child today, she's supposed to comply. If she doesn't comply, then you gotta leave her. Then that means she doesn't follow you and isn't playing a role. You know what I mean? And the reason I bring this up is that we're in a society of investment. You know, if you're with a girl on a date and she's expended money on her clothing, her car, yet she finds it, and we're at a time where both men and women work, and you're on a date and you say, yo, we're gonna split this bill. We're gonna split this bill, and I'll cover the tip. I'll cover the tip. Will split this bill, and the first thing you're gonna hear from a Kevin Samuels and from these dating coaches and all these shout out to Michael Foster, all these merchants of misery, is you're gonna hear, well, you're being cheap. You're being a cheapskate. You're not being a high value man. No, uh I'm being, damn, I'm forgetting the word right now. I'm being a logical man. I'm actually following society's standard. There it is. I'm living by society's standard. We live in a consumeristic society. So you're telling me I'm gonna go on a date with a girl, with a woman, you know what I mean? And she's not going to invest on this date. So if she doesn't invest on the date that we're having, then that date has no value to her. You know what I'm saying? I'm living by society standards. She has a job, I have a job, which means if we never met each other, either way, she can feed herself, she can clothe herself, and all this. You know what I mean? So when we're having a date, it's about seeing the investment. If she doesn't invest in this date, it has no value. You know what I mean? And that's what the modern man isn't adapting. The modern man isn't adapting to the standard society has set, where once both men and women work, it becomes a matter of investment. You know what I'm saying? If you go out with a woman and she has no job, she's literally she's a homemaker. She stays at home. She lives in a traditional setting where she has no job at all. She's not working. You know what I mean? Her father is the one that's providing what I'm saying, income, and he gives her some money from time to time. Yeah, then you have to pay for the date. You know what I'm saying? You got to pay for it. That's why a lot of you used to see a lot of high school dates. When somebody goes on a high school date, you know, and notice even high school, if the dude had a job, if you were in high school, you have a job, she doesn't have a job, the guy's gonna pay for the date. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna split it. He's gonna pay for it because he knows, yo, she only goes to school, she babysits her brothers and siblings, she doesn't work, so I'm gonna take her out. We're gonna eat. We're gonna enjoy each other's company. I'm gonna invest in this moment. You know what I mean? And the reason I bring this up to answer Visionary's question is that most relationships in the States, the man is the only one investing. And we have a society that's literally telling men to ignore societal standards. A woman has a job, a man has a job. And we're in a consumeristic society, which means you have to invest, she has to invest. Even the marriage, it should all really be an investment between you both. Any man that's paying for the entire marriage is going against society's standards. You know what I'm saying? It's going against the consumeristic society we live in. You know what I'm saying? Everything is based on investment. If you're the only one investing in the relationship as a man, then you're the only one that thinks it has value. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You're the only one that has placed value on it. She doesn't invest, she has a job, you have a job, then that relationship is set to fail. You've already committed to failure because you're the only one claiming and investing in it. And the reason I bring this up is that this is the fate of most married men in this domestic society. They're the only one that invested currency into the relationship. You know, when he met her on a date, he paid for the date. You know what I mean? He paid for the ring for engagement. He paid for the marriage. He paid for everything. He's the only one that invested in it when we literally live in a consumeristic society. Once both men and women have a job, it becomes a point of investment. And if both parties don't invest in that relationship, then only one of them sees it as value. If the woman you're with is willing to pay, she's literally willing to pay for, you know what I'm saying, a Prada bag, a car, clothing, and she's not willing to pay $10, $20 to go on a pizza date, then yo, that date has no value. And the reason I bring this up is that most men domestically will have a relationship. And the reason I say shout out to Visionary is, and I'm going back to Mexico. Okay, you come back home. Let's say you're married to a chick here, or you're not married. She has your child here domestically. You know what I mean? She has your child domestically. When you come home, you have to deal with her. You got to deal with her from a point she didn't invest any money into this relationship, and you have to talk to her and deal with that. So before you even have access to your children in a domestic relationship, we know how the laws work. Any man on this black pill spear knows how the law work. You have to get past your woman. So the woman you're with acts as a third party to your children, since legally that's how it works. So as soon as you come home, let's say your girl's at home or she's at work, you got to talk to her. You got to let her know you're at home. Then you got to try to spend time with your children. Notice all these steps you had to go through just to have access to your children. I got to get home. I got to tell my girl I got home. I got to talk. I got to let her know what I'm doing with the kids. When, dude, you're their father. You don't need to explain what the hell you're doing with your kids. You know what I mean? In fact, give me a minute. So you know what I mean. So you gotta bypass all this stuff just to see your kids domestically. So, what happens when the answer's question is this, man. If you have a child overseas, let's say you're in the United States and you live near Mexico, let's say you're in Texas or California or whatever, you have your kids overseas, you don't have to bypass your wife. You've made the investment. The laws are within your advantage as a man. You just raise your kids, you have access to them, and you go to them. And in all honesty, you get to spend more time, even if it's once a week on a Saturday. You get one day to go to Mexico and go to see your children and your family there, whatever. You go to see your children. You're the man of the household. You're in charge. There is no, yo, I gotta talk to the wife what I'm gonna be doing. I gotta explain all this stuff because I live under her what the hell is that word? Supervision. Live under her supervision. So, I have to explain everything. So, when you go overseas, you'll have more access to your children. There is no third party relationship between you and your wife. That's my children, you know what I mean? And that's our children. It's a given. And if I come after work, even if you don't want to talk to the mother of your child, you just hug your children and she understands you're not in the mood for talking. You know what I mean? You're not a threat to your children. You don't got to explain anything. You just go hang with them. So even if you could dedicate one day, once a week, you go to Mexico to go see your kids, you'll have more time to see your children than you would have domestically, because domestically you were the only one that invested. And then with the laws being what they are, where she has far more legal standing than you have as a man in a relationship, then the whole relationship is based on what she feels and wants, which means your access point to the children you have domestically. And I mean, think about this. You literally live in the same household as your kids, and you got to go through multiple steps just to see them, just to talk to them. You know what I mean? And you live with them. So a lot of men here domestically, even though they're so close, they're so far. You know what I mean? They got to go through so many hurdles just to have access to their kids. You know what I mean? There are the dudes that have the black pill awareness, but they're duck themselves. Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, this guys need to understand, man. If there is no part time in the black pill. There's only a full time. If you're part time, you're gray pilled, man. The gray pill and the black pill is very simple. You know what I mean? If you're part time with the black pill, as in you only accept part of it, and we have a lot of this. You got a lot of dating coaches. I agree with certain things with you guys. I agree with certain things with you guys because, dude, they're part-time on the black pill, man. Part-time means you're gray pilled. The majority of society, as I said, you're gonna have purple pill. In the red pill community, the majority of guys are purple pilled. And in the black pill community, the majority of guys are gray pilled. Everything, if you're black pilled, you just accept the math. You accept the math and you don't have any issues with it. You know what I'm saying? 5 plus 5 is 10. 5 plus 5 is 10. Then what's the problem? What's the problem? You know what I mean? I'm about to open up the link, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to open it up. Give me 1 second. Let me just go through these streams a little. I never understood how guys can be bored and lonely, but then again, I am introvert. Yeah, I mean, introvert, they've taught a lot of guys, the homie Spec, they've taught a lot of people that introverts are, people that want to be alone. No, no, dude. An introvert is a person that socializes on their terms. You know what I mean? That's all they want to do. If they don't mentally want to socialize or be around people based on their terms, then they don't want to socialize. There's nothing wrong with being an introvert. An introvert to me is just a person that everything they do when it comes to social interaction is based on their terms. You know what I mean? If you don't meet their terms, they're not going to do it. They're not going to, an introvert might not go to the clubs. They don't like to be around a lot of strangers or whatever it is, most no matter. See, let me read Uncle Guns. Most men yearn for companionship. Most men, no matter the affiliation, don't want to do what it takes to improve odds of obtaining that. Yeah, I mean, the thing is this, man. Shout out to Uncle Guns, is that dude. There are standards, man, and my standard is simple, man. And I'm gonna tell guys this, man. You come on the stream, don't say feel, man. Don't say feel. This isn't a feel space. They've taught a lot of men to basically speak from a perspective of feelings. They've manipulated men to that point. In all honesty, you can't even tell the difference between how a woman speaks and a man speaks anymore, because every man is speaking on, well, I feel, well, what I mean? How do you feel about taking a trip to this place? No, dude, ask me what the hell do I think? What do I think, man? What do I think about going there? Ask me about thinking, not feeling, because once you ask about feeling, it invalidates your what you're bringing up to the table. There's a lot of guys that'll speak some logic and be, what I'm saying, they'll drop some logic and then say, well, I feel. Once you put feel, it it eliminates the logic behind what you're saying, because the counter argument becomes, well, I don't feel what the hell you're saying. So if I don't feel it, it doesn't mean anything. And the thing is, we're in a community. What's going on with the black pill? Let me share it again. Just in case, because I'm live streaming between multiple accounts, is that join the Discord. The Discord is the best way to communicate. We're not all gonna be on there. I ain't gonna be on there all day, whatever. But everybody, you'll be able to talk to somebody, some like-minded person. So the thing is this, man, we're building, we're talking to each other, and this whole loneliness thing comes from people. The black pill loneliness comes from you seeking uh, a mainstream opinion. You're seeking the mainstream validation. You know what I'm saying? That's where the black pill loneliness comes from. You're seeking mainstream validation. Well, I don't hang out with these dudes. We didn't go to school together. We've never physically met. We've never physically talked. So, what we're doing here, I'm lonely. I'm lonely because we've never physically met, but we can communicate. Dude, you ain't alone when you can communicate to people. You know what I'm saying? This whole loneliness thing that a lot of guys are going through, you're not alone, bro. You know what I'm saying? Especially, you're not alone when you can lean on logic. You know what I'm saying? If you can lean on logic, it's like a foundation. It's kind of like a guy, you're leaning on for example, you're leaning on a tree branch. You know what I'm saying? You're leaning on a tree branch and you're saying, well, I can't lean on anything. I'm not leaning on anything because I'm not leaning on someone. No, dude, you're leaning on this tree branch and it's supporting you. You know what I mean? So you're leaning on a community built on a foundation of critical thinking. You know what I mean? Caduceus said, it's not a community. And I agree with him, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it is a community also, because we're at the point where talking with any logic, you're seen as an outcast. You know what I'm saying? You bring up, a lot of guys will talk to you about marriage and, children, and you just tell them, yo, it's not, with the way the laws are, it's not in your best interest. It's not in your best interest to have a child or start a family with the way the laws are. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling them to not have any kids. I'm just pinpointing on the law. With the way the laws are, it's not the best play. And even if they go deeper, you're like, yo, man, you explain to them, and when they ask you, yo, why don't you want to have kids, this and that, you just tell them, it's not that I don't want to have kids or don't want to start a family. It's just that legally, within the boundary of the law, I'm following the law. And that's what's funny. They claim we're the oddballs, we're the guys with mental issues or a problem, when we're the ones literally saying we agree with the law. You know, we're pointing out the law as a foundation for the way we think. Yo, legally, it's not a valid point. It's not It's not a good play on the chessboard, to do it. That's all we're saying. You know what I mean? We're just saying the law. And companionship, shout out to Uncle Guns. The thing is, we have a community, man. The community is based on, back in the 90s or 80s, probably I'd say back in the 50s or 30s, you wouldn't have a community like this because it was logically accepted. You know what I mean? Most people knew some level of critical thinking and would not claim that's a community because, dude, you're just critically thinking and speaking some facts that people should know. You can't, it's not a community. You know what I'm saying? Uh, for just 99 for nine. OG, get it for 9.99. I will teach you high value game. Yeah. Well, I plan to do a short video on this, but I'll drop it right now. Is that a lot of these dating coaches, they're they're teaching you a scam, and why it's a scam, the dating coaches, is that they're teaching you game, and here's the thing about game. Game is basically, it's literally breaking down social interaction with a female for the goal. Like whenever somebody brings up game, and the word game, if you think about it, it isn't really a bad word. You know what I'm saying? When they say game, the thing is this, as soon as you hear game, it's basically, oh, so game, you're saying going towards a woman to get a date, or get a sexual interaction, or make her your girlfriend. So game tends to be just a word to basically point out when your whole social narrative and your ideal of socializing with the opposite sex is to lead to a sexual interaction, or her becoming available to you. So the word game, I mean, it ain't a bad word because it basically breaks down the ideal of your interaction. The problem with these dating coaches, and why the dating coaches are 100% scam artists and frauds, is that they're teaching men game from a perspective that no longer exists. We're not in the 1930s or 1950s anymore. You know what I'm saying? We're in the year 2020s. And what I'm about to drop right now, I'm gonna do a short video on it, but I'm gonna break down something huge. Something that literally proves that no dating coach can actually teach you any game of value at all. Because the reason they can't teach you any game of value is that dating coaches do not teach you the point of interaction. Let me say this again. In fact, let me uh let me get let me see what I'm doing. Yeah, yeah. They don't teach you the point of interaction. Shout out to David Little. Me and David Little were talking about this. It's called the point of interaction. A lot of the dating coaches teach you the, one point of interaction. She's on a date with you. You're going to be talking to her. You're going to talk to her and interact with her and try to get a date or sexual interaction. They only teach you, the dating coaches teach you to ignore the points of interaction. You know what I'm saying? What they don't understand is that we live in an age, for women, with the laws being what they are, an abundance. The women have so much abundance when it comes to the point of interaction. And the point of interaction, for example, a woman will go on a date with you. That point of interaction is, okay, she's going to have a physical interaction, a point of interaction with you during a date. Boom, that's one point of interaction. The second point of interaction, she has her phone, so she can now communicate with somebody. In fact, let me put back up the photo. Give me 1 second. Yeah, there it is. You see, look at this photo, man. Before I get further on my notice on this photo, what is going on here? To the average guy looking at this, they're gonna say, well, I see them on a date. You know what I'm saying? I see them at a restaurant on a date. But what you don't see is there are actually 2 points of interaction. You know what I mean? What is the 1 point? The 1 point of interaction is the location. Okay, they're at a restaurant. That's 1 point of interaction. The second point of interaction is her phone. You know what I'm saying? Her phone. So she's on social media. That is 2 points of interaction. You know what I'm saying? So she's physically interacting. Give me 1 minute. She's physically interacting with this guy on the date. You know what I'm saying? And the second point of interaction is on her phone. She's having a social interaction. So on this phone right here, on this photo right here, to a dating coach's eye, a scam artist dating coach, they're just gonna see, look, they're on a date. But to a man with the point of interaction awareness, you can see that there are literally 2 points of interaction. And guess what? There can actually be 3 points of interaction. So she's the first point of interaction is that their physical location. The physical location is point one. Point two is on the phone. So point two is on the phone. She's on social media interacting with whoever she's interacting with. Now, can there be a point three? Yes, there can be a point three. Point three could literally be she's on a phone call on the speaker. So now there's 3 points of interaction. She's replying to the people on her social media, plus she's talking to somebody. And there could even be 4 points of interaction. Now let's say she goes on a live stream, you know what I'm saying? A live stream while replying to people on the comments, while replying to direct messages. Now there's 4 points of interaction. You know what I'm saying? The dating coaches do not teach you or talk to you about the points of interaction. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you could tell the dating coaches are literally scam artists. Because what the dating coaches sell you is what no longer exists. What no longer exists is the 1 point of interaction. The 1 point of interaction was before social media. You know what I'm saying? It was before text messaging. You know what I'm saying? There used to be only 2 points of interaction. When the cell phone first came out, there was only 2 points. She would go on a date with you. Point one is the location she met you. Point two is if she makes a call. She makes a call to somebody. There's 2 points of interaction going on. The dating coaches teach you the 1 point of interaction, which no longer exists. The 1 point of interaction, in actuality, no. In actuality, the 1 point of interaction was actually when there wasn't a cell phone to begin with. When there wasn't a cell phone, when you went out on a date with a girl, you know what I'm saying, and it was only you and her, that was a 1 point of interaction. Once the cell phone got introduced, there was a 2 points of interaction because while on the date with you, she could call somebody. So there's a second point of interaction, and the person she could be calling could be another man. You know what I'm saying? So there's 2 points of interaction once the cell phone came into into uh into existence. So a lot of guys need to understand why the dating coaches are basically scam artists is they're selling you a point of interaction that no longer exists. There is no such thing as a 1 point of interaction. You know what I mean? Oh, the Tony Pill, yeah. Tony Pill, shout out to Tony Pill. Adapt. Tony Pill is based on three things: adapt, accountability, and authenticity. You know what I mean? Three steps. It's the 3 A's, triple A plan for manhood. Adapt, be accountable, and authenticity. You know what I mean? So you got to understand that these dating coaches are literally teaching you something that is obsolete, that no longer exists. And here's the thing about the point of interaction. The point of interaction is literally based on a one-on-one setting. So for example, let's say you met a girl at a diner, you're meeting her at a diner for a date. You know what I'm saying? And one of her friends is there. one of her friends is there, now it becomes a 2 point of interaction because now the interaction becomes she's interacting with you and her friend. You know what I'm saying? The way the dating coaches teach it is that they teach you go out on a date with a girl, a woman, whatever, and they're teaching you, the dating coaches are still teaching you the 1 point of interaction. It's just you and her. When in reality, it's you, her cell phone, social media, all the points of interaction she can interact with. You know what I mean? So a lot of these dating coaches are literally teaching you obsolete game perspective. Their whole playbook on the game is broken because they're ignoring the point of interaction. You know what I mean? Once you understand the point of interaction, you understand that everything these dating coaches are selling you is literally a scam. It is literally a scam, man. It is a fraud. It's a scam because, word Uncle Guns. It's not a community. It's a fellowship. Oh, that's dope. That is dope. So, the dating coaches are literally teaching you a scam, you know, because they want you to ignore the points of interaction. You know what I'm saying? The dating coach will tell you, well, here's how to game your girl when you go on a date with her. You know what I'm saying? You go on a date with her. Yo, titanium rubber was good, man. Truth is freedom. Realizing you were lonely throughout our life, but we were fooled. Now we are not lonely in loneliness. You know what I mean? We're not lonely. Loneliness is a superpower. Yeah. I mean, if you can, you got to look at it like this, man. And I told guys, I was going to say it on Caduceus stream, is that a baby is born. A lot of guys like to say the red pill was the beginning, blah, blah, blah. That's a lie. If you break it down to its most finite structure, it's the red pill. What truly existed in the beginning is the blue pill and the black pill. Because a baby is the fine example of the blue pill and the black pill. The baby doesn't know anything about the world. That's the blue pill. The baby doesn't know nothing, you know. Now the black pill comes with how the baby reacts and interacts with the world. The baby's hungry, the baby will cry. The baby needs warmth, the baby will cry. Everything the baby does is based on a reaction to its societal and its position in the world. And it's all built on logic. You know what I mean? The baby literally interacts based on a logical standpoint, and that's the black pill. The black pill is literally just logical reaction. You know what I'm saying? A baby's hungry, cries. A baby needs to feel security. It will crawl up to its parents. So is the point the baby is the rare occurrence. You know what I'm saying? A baby is between a blue pill and a black pill. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't know anything about the world, yet all its reactions are based around what the world shows the baby. You know what I mean? So it's that's why I say the black pill and the blue pill, that's where it began. You become red pilled when you start ingesting, awareness about society, the laws, the rules. There's steps to become red pill, but the black pill is basically, you know what I'm saying? For example, a man was attacked by a bear. You know what I'm saying? And the man made some noises, screamed, whatever, to try to scare the bear away as it tried to approach. You would be, oh man, that is black pilled. He did everything he could logically, and he did everything from a standpoint of logic. You know what I'm saying? So that's black pilled. You know what I mean? The black pill is simple, you know. But yeah, let me showcase a few more. Oh, Tony was good, man. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? A lot of guys, man, a lot of these dating coaches, I said they're frauds, man. It's frauding because they're teaching you the 1 point of interaction. You know, the 1 point of interaction no longer exists. And I'm about to drop a few more breakdowns on the point of interaction. Give me 1 minute. The other, like for example, I was with a chick, I was working, whatever. chick was basically giving me like a lap dance, you know what I mean? Grinding on me, whatever, at the job doing, whatever she was doing. That was one point of interaction. One point of interaction is the location. She went out of her house to go to the bar, and that's the location. The point of interaction is the bar. So she danced up on me, got all this attention and interaction from a man at the bar. That's the one point of interaction is interaction. The points of interaction are based on the location. So she interacted with me at the bar. That's the one point of interaction. You know what I'm saying? And she got her feels, attention, whatever you want to call it, at the bar. So that was one point of interaction. And then, I gave her my number, whatever. That's all she wanted from me. She wanted the interaction, the point of interaction at the bar. Maybe it's to maybe it's to build her ego or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So she got that one point of interaction at the bar. Then she's gonna go home. She went home and she'll either contact the guy on Tinder to get another point of interaction. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she'll call him to come over and what I mean, hit it, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But the interaction, there's multiple points of interaction. It could be on social media, it could be on a phone call, it could be at the location. So there's many points of interaction. And the dating coaches, how you know they're frauds is that they're teaching you that there's only one point of interaction is that you went out on a date with her. And as I said, what I'm saying, with the high value man and all this scam is that you got to understand, we're in a consumer based society. We're in a consumer based society, which means if she does not invest in the date, if the woman you're with doesn't drop a dime on the date, then that means that date has no investment. That date has no worth. You know what I'm saying? Because if somebody could tell you my Prada bag is worth this much and that much, yet during the date, she did not invest at all on that date. She did not invest on the date, then the date has no value. You know what I'm saying? So to me, man, you got to understand, man, there are points of interaction. And a lot of these PUAs do not teach or do not understand the point of interaction. And a lot of these PUAs are literally scam artists, you know what I mean? Because they're teaching men to ignore the point of interaction. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, I went out on a date with her. Yeah, dude, she has her cell phone with her. She's texting people. She's participating on multiple points of interaction. So you gotta compete with all these multiple points of interaction, you know what I'm saying, just to get her to pay attention to your point of interaction, which is the physical location of this date. And then she has a job, you have a job, yet she doesn't want to invest in this date. You know what I mean? I've been at the bar where, a couple couple broads, you know what I mean? Couple broads. Yeah, in fact, I'm gonna use the word couple Barbies. You know what I mean? That's gonna be the new word. That'll probably be safer. Couple Barbies paid a drink for me. Couple Barbies bought your Hulk a drink. You know what I mean? They bought me a drink, and it is what it is. They invested in that interaction, that point of interaction with me. You know what I mean? Got me a drink, whatever. You know what I mean? So a lot of guys need to understand, man. A lot of these dating coaches are basically teaching you a lie because they want you to ignore the points of interaction. But yeah, let me drop open the panel for a few minutes. Drop the Discord on there one more time. You know what I mean? Any black pillars dating engineers? I only date engineers. You know what I mean? Or John, John, I ain't gonna say his name. It ain't even worth it. You know what I mean? Yes, I only date OnlyFans. Well, another thing, I was chopping it up with let me invite some guests. Um, I was chopping it up with one of the homies, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, the blue pill baby. Yeah, so I mean, I was chopping it up with one of the homies, and a lot of people bring up OnlyFans. You know what I mean? And a lot of people wonder, why is OnlyFans making money, man? Why is OnlyFans such a viable income source for a certain amount of women, and how is OnlyFans making money? Well, OnlyFans is making money because we've all searched naked photos online before. We've all searched we've all watched some porn here and there. And what OnlyFans is providing is that, you know, consistent in content. For example, you would search a chick you liked, you enjoyed her appearance, and you search Google for new photos of her, and you can't get a consistent feed of new content from this chick. So what OnlyFans is doing is that it's providing men no, you don't need the Discord to hop on the panel. I'm just sharing it, so because to bypass YouTube shadow banning the channel, what I mean, to shadow banning the channel, we need people to join the Discord. But let me share the panel quick. Anybody wants to hop on? Bam. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, there's the panel link. But yeah, we shared the Discord. Oh wow, YouTube. Damn, I think YouTube strike my channel again. I gotta check the other channel. God damn, dude. Yeah, but yeah, with OnlyFans, the thing is this, man. With OnlyFans, it's allowing guys access to content. You know what I'm saying? To instant content from a chick they like, and getting fed consistent content. So for example, before OnlyFans, if a guy liked a girl on a porno, or he liked a girl naked on a photo, he would have to keep searching on Google and, hope she uploaded something new. But with OnlyFans, now you can get consistent new content from this one chick you want to keep seeing nude, and consistent content, and you could even talk to her. That's why OnlyFans is making money, because it's provided a service that was missing for guys looking at women naked. You know what I mean? It's providing a service that you wouldn't normally get. You know what I mean? So, but the panel's open, man. If you want to hop on, we got a good, I'd say probably a good 35 minutes or something, you know. But yeah, like I said, man, hop on the Discord. It's a way to keep up with everything. And our last Discord got nuked. You know what I mean? Oh, word. What's up, David?
Yo, what's up, man? I'm just gonna put myself off camera. Getting ready for work right now, man.
Oh,
Yep,
yeah. Oh,
loving the stream, bro, man. It's good to have you back,
oh,
dude. It's getting wild in these streets, man. I don't know if QB saw that comment I made. I thought about something the other day when
mm,
they were jumping all over him. I was like, wait a minute, this dude just got kicked out of another man's house,
mm.
and you're sitting here judging this dude. You got to think about the logistics of this. Like, you're homeless, and
mm,
this guy is already established. Sure, the stream went a little wild, of course, no one's perfect. But you got to think about these dating coaches, man. They either end up broke, desperate, or married trapped, or, parent trapped half the time.
mm.
So that's one point I wanted to make, because I thought about that yesterday. It dawned on me at work. I sat there, I'm like, wait a minute. This dude is sitting here. I have no words for him. I'm like, first of all, Kevin, you just got kicked out, and dudes were offering you money.
Oh,
Whoa! Before you can posture, are you in the position to posture on somebody like that?
uh,
I don't make fun of people in the hard times, but Jesus, excuse my, at the same
uh,
time. But
right.
yeah, you have some great points here, man. You definitely make, especially what we talked about.
Oh,
Yeah, this situation is getting out of hand. I've been on a couple of dates where Barbies would pull out their cell phones when the
Mm,
waiter comes by, expecting you to pay
mm,
without a thought of contributing. There's some girls who admitted, or Barbies that admitted to me, they don't bring money with them to any dates. Like their pocketbooks are empty,
mm,
or they got mace or pepper spray in there, and that's about it. They don't bring anything else. So we're in a brutal time, man. And like you were saying, the dating coaches, they have I've said it too. I said it in a different way. They have
mm,
obsolete information that's constantly changing. They're coming from a perspective that is so decades old. Maybe they could talk to their women like that. But that brings me back to one thing. I was watching a video last night. I think you're familiar with Man of Tomorrow, right?
mm,
He got in an argument. Him and LAR Movement were going at it because Man of Tomorrow was saying, "Listen, y'all guys are you're get the bag sociopaths, man. Y'all
mm.
guys are just sociopaths." What do you think about that statement,
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, let me just introduce Woody. What's good, man?
Woody?
Hey, what's up, boys?
Woody the
Good,
Savage.
Woody, man. I haven't seen you on Discord since the great annihilation. So,
We got
The
Thanos,
apocalypse,
the
dude.
snap.
It was so many dudes getting nuked left and right. It was like going to getting off the ships, and fighting Germany again.
Right on
It was it was
Omaha
like,
Beach, bro.
uh,
dude, it was
We
crazy.
all
Yeah,
took
man.
we took the
oh
chain
yeah.
gun fire. Go ahead, sorry about that.
They disabled everybody, man. Because I was talking to
Yeah.
somebody. Caduceus hit me up, and he's like, "Yo, man, check the Discord. Have you been disabled?" I'm like, "Yeah." Then I see everybody been disabled, man. So I had to add a bot. But to go back to what you know, Deacon David is saying is that, yeah, a lot of guys have become, I'd say they're sociopaths with the bag. I mean, look at Kevin Samuels' whole hustle is telling men to be a high value target and listen to how he talks to women. What do you want? How many children do you want? How much money should the man make? Dude, it don't matter what she wants. It's all about what the man wants to give her. If I was with a chick today and I told her, yo, I want to have a kid now, and she says no, that's a ultimate fuck. That ain't a red flag. That's a nuclear flag right there. What you mean you don't want to have my kid? I'm trustworthy. I protect. I provide. I play my role. What you mean you don't want to have a kid? Oh, I get it. You're waiting for a better deal. So you're using me to fund your lifestyle until you can interact with a better man. So, we got a lot of these guys on here in the manosphere, falling for that BS. Dude, the day you as a man want a kid, your girl's supposed to open her legs like a can sale at ShopRite. You know,
Spread
that's
spread eagle.
yeah,
You said a can.
yeah.
I
You,
haven't
you
seen
see
that
them
in years.
can commercials, man.
La
Oh,
la 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 la.
la. Oh, yo, Uncle Guns
Oh
was
my
good, man.
God! What's up, Guns?
Uncle
You,
Guns.
Uncle Guns, I don't get
I
you,
don't know
boss,
what the
man. What's good?
problem. I don't. I don't know what the problem is with dating, man. I've been getting exactly what I want on dates and out of women for 3 decades. I don't see what the problem is.
Oh
You
yeah.
know,
Oh,
the problem I see is that a lot of guys, and again, just disclaimer. Yes, I believe in game. Yes, I coach men. Okay, full disclaimer. I'm probably get kicked out of here sooner or later for
you'll
saying
be
that
all
shit.
right, Guns. Guns, you're
But
down
no,
as
I'm
well.
just joking. I mean, but the thing of it is that oh well, she's doing okay. Well, if you're not in control and command and leading the date, then you're not in control and command of your own life. Because if you're allowing her to do stuff on the date, and if she gives you any kickback, any pushback, guess what? I'm gone. I'm
Simple as
gone. She
that.
don't like you that much. Oh, hey, you're on your phone. Tell you what,
Check,
you're on my
please.
time right now. Go ahead and put that thing away, and let's chit chat and enjoy this time.
Oh yeah.
If she likes you that much, she'll do it. If she doesn't, hey, no big deal. Call the waiter over and split the
But
bill. Hey,
Guns,
have a good evening. Move on.
Guns. Most of these chicks are awkward as fuck now. I mean, like socially awkward. Like they could barely
Right,
hold a conversation. I mean, good God.
right. That's why you lead the conversation. You lead the
Yeah.
entire interaction.
Yeah, you have to. It's like, God, I might as well be the daddy at this point. Teach you basic social skills. How is your day today? No, I don't get on TikTok. No, I do not use. I use Snapchat very lightly. No, I do not. I don't know what's going on with Kim Kardashian and Kanye West.
Mhm.
No.
How it's weird. And
No.
then
But
like,
David, you gotta have
If
more
she's
than 10,000 followers on Instagram, bruh.
are you serious? 10,000 is the minimum now? Good God!
It is. You gotta have a big following on YouTube or whatever for you to be on the list, bro.
Uh,
To become a blue check mark, right?
uh,
Hmm.
well, I mean, the thing is this, dude. What's happened is, man, with social media, with what Guns was saying, with the fellowship thing is that, dude, this is why I say I don't blame the women, is that, dude,
Yeah.
who created social media. What they've done is that if there isn't a middleman between your interaction and her, interacting with her, then it's not normal. You know what I mean? Men are still operating on face to face, you know what I'm saying? Not 100% in a with a middle ground. But the way I look at it is, man, these dating coaches, the ones that are scam artists and teach you to scam, is that they don't teach you that there's multiple points of interaction. A chick might, I think Caduceus said on a stream that, dude, a chick might meet you at the bar. That don't mean she want to sleep with you. You know what I mean? She just wanted some interaction or
That
some
attention.
attention right there. And she go home. She might go to that dude that's Netflix and chill or whatever. But the thing is, we're at the point where, there's multiple points of interaction. And you have to understand, and I agree with Guns on this. If
Yeah.
she comes on the date and she on the phone, automatic, that's an automatic. You didn't set the
That's an
tone,
audible.
whatever. But what's happening is most guys are looking at it as, man, it's most chicks these days, man, have been taught to, stranger max. You know what I mean? That's where we're at. We're at the stranger max. What stranger did you invite and sleep with from only?
Yo, here's the crazy thing. I've been like, I know there's a one channel, not to mention him, name's Jada Black. He's been covering this a lot. A lot of chicks have been, a lot of Barbies have been getting ended. And it said starting to rise where they're meeting these guys on these programs and inviting them to the house. Then you find out they get, get unalived. It's
Oh,
crazy, man.
you saying they get the Friday the 13th treatment? That's
Dude, and then the worst part, the last one, the evidence was undeniable. And they're like, nah, the guy's good. I was like, wow, this is crazy.
I mean, the thing is, man, this is why they're preaching this whole equality thing. Is she invites a strange dude she don't know, and that Barbie gets that Jason treatment. You know what I mean? You know
She
what I
gets
mean?
she gets the red she gets the red dragon, dude.
Fucking
She
Jason
flies
pulls up.
around.
Holy shit!
You
She gets
know,
the
get
red
it's
she
gonna
gets
be a
the
new
red
term.
dragon.
Wow.
Get that
And then you know
hockey
what
match.
comes after? You know what comes after? What's that? Yeah, dude. I don't know why I forget this. You know the clown guy with? It's not the clown guy.
It or
I think
Pennywise?
Freddy Krueger.
Oh,
No,
you
Oh,
mean
Freddy
Fred.
Krueger.
okay, Kruger.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's in dream.
he comes after. Yep, exactly.
In a dream, but to me, man, they gotta change that song. Remember that song? First comes love.
Then
Then
comes
comes
marriage.
marriage, then comes the baby. And no, it needs to be first comes the swipe right, then comes the invite to the house, then comes the day after pill.
And then comes the Uber.
That's it. Man, that's somebody's got to change that song, man. We don't exist in that no more. But my thing is this, man. A lot of dudes they don't get it, man. There's multiple points to social. Me and David
Yeah.
were chopping this up. We're talking about this. What was it like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, the day we got
Mm,
nuked.
What day we got nuked on the channel? I said, dude, there's multiple points of interaction, and the thing is this: we're in a consumer environment. They've trained women. I mean, my bad, Barbies. They've trained all the Barbies that the only investment they should make is in purses and consumerism. You know what I'm saying? Then they
And
go
don't forget
they go on a
physical.
date with a man that they're supposed to be building something with, and they get angry and they don't want to make an investment. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man.
Maybe some of the Gen Xer, women, there's still some that are around that are,
Mm,
somewhat traditional. I remember I was at work once and I was selling to a customer and they kept showing me pictures of their daughter.
Hmm.
She's on a horse farm, and I'm like, no, like hell no. And
Uh,
I kept telling him no, like no, I don't want to deal with that. No,
Are you kidding me? Which one's the horse? You know.
no,
uh,
you know, that's a Dangerfield feeling
Right.
right there. I tell you, man, it's like the dance of the dead. Now I know why tigers eat their young. But
That's right. This
but
one still has marks on it to where the jockey was kicking it. You know.
looks like he served soup with his hat on.
man,
That's the
Uncle Guns gets no respect, man.
problem.
That's right. If you're gonna take a
Ah,
picture of me, you're gonna need a very long lens. You know what I'm saying?
That's my favorite comedian. One of my favorite ones.
Oh,
uh,
I've done Rodney for years. My dad had all those albums, and I used to listen to all that shit for fucking years.
Yo, and Rodney was black pill as fuck too. So that's why I
Oh,
love him.
Rodney didn't give a fuck, man.
He was black
Rodney
pill as
didn't give
ever.
3 fucks, 2 shits, and one good goddamn about anything or anyone but himself. And he got mad pussy, and he was a freakazoid looking motherfucker.
And he made fun of himself too. I think that's what
Yeah.
really he Jexter maxed, but he intelligently he used it to his benefit. He Jester maxed to his benefit, you know, in a
Yeah.
way, making fun of himself and but girls, and he was like mid-50s. He was old.
Oh yeah.
This is why I can't stand dudes like Kevin Samuels. And, oh, you got to be young. I'm like, man, shut up. There's dudes who are fat, short, who are making it out there. So, it's not everyone's not the exception, but things are possible. It's just each man has a different level they have to operate with. Like, I'm not gonna expect to kick game like have the power and the fury of Hold the Truth being 6'7". I don't know if I'm like 5 foot nothing. So I gotta deal with what I gotta deal with. The problem is these grifters try to make you think you can shoot for the stars and not being being reality based. You can game any chick, and I'm like, not really.
no. Well, I mean, I give Scribe this, man. Scribe
Yeah,
said the biggest thing where he said you got to qualify. You know what I mean? But let me get your thoughts, man. I'll start with
yeah,
Guns.
yeah.
What is your thoughts on the whole these guys thinking they're alone and all that stuff, man? The loneliness and
Well, again, this what I opened with. I don't think you know enough about yourself. You're not living. You're bullshitting yourself. You're not living the life that you want to be living. You're not in control of
Nice
your life. You don't demand things. You don't have any morals, codes, values. You don't live by a certain
boundaries.
standard. Yeah, you don't live by a certain standard. A lot of guys are still trapped in this bullshit of, you know, work, buy, consume, die, and they get sold all this bullshit. And the next
Just
thing you
like they
know,
live.
they end up a lot of the what does Hold the Truth say? A lot of the lesser pillars, a lot of the really, the genuine cells end up in this place just like the low value women. The low value men are no different than the low value women. Trust me, I coach them every week. They
Mhm.
say the same shit. I'm not happy. Okay, well, then you got to do this, that, and the other. I don't wanna. Okay, then I don't know what to tell you. You
Actionable
know,
results, man.
you don't. People just don't want it. Being being an adult. You want to talk about no fap and being alone and being adult, being a responsible adult today is the real fucking superpower.
Exactly.
And I run across. I still sling dick like a motherfucker, and I have no problem doing it because when you run into women of value who, they're looking for guys like you. The bubbly ones that are all about, pictures and Instagram and all that stuff. Yeah, I'll throw it to them if they're attracted to me, but that's about it. But I mean, a lot of guys they do not want to do what it takes. They want to live in that fantasy world. They want to, you know. I
That
forgot the
perpetual
fucking question. I
victimhood.
went off my own fucking rails.
Perpetual victimhood.
Yeah,
well, I mean, it's
yeah,
just,
that's
man.
where the loneliness comes from. That's where the loneliness comes from because they believe
Speak your
stuff.
truth.
And look, I'm don't take nobody take this the wrong way. Nobody take this the wrong way. I'm not saying what I'm about to say to offend fucking anybody. Okay,
That's
I
all right.
run it. I collect data. The most depressed guys that I run across in coaching and in talking to people. I've been doing this for fucking 20 years is the guys that believe the stuff they see in movies, TV, video games, and cartoons.
Ah,
And yes,
yes.
and yes, I mean anime. And that's where I'm
Yes.
going to trigger fucking everybody.
No,
Uh,
not really.
uh, uh,
Because some of us know how to separate reality from fantasy sometimes. And when you're consuming that stuff a lot and their reality so-called, quote unquote sucks, they get lost in it. It's cool to be a
Yeah,
fan, but when you get lost in it, start identifying to it, I'm like Sasuke, I'm like Goku, that's where it becomes a problem. I used to have
yeah.
that problem. That's why I keep saying used.
Hold on, hold on. I gotta get offended for everybody else.
Are
All
you
right,
drinking
fuck you,
Kool-Aid?
uncle. Fuck you, you fucking old head. You fucking
Yeah,
boomer.
yeah.
All right, I'm
Take the
done.
number.
uh,
Woody.
I mean, what about you, Woody, man? What are your thoughts on, guys finding out the black pill truth and, thinking they're alone because they don't measure up to that mainstream example of what not being alone is, you know what I mean? And what are your thoughts?
Right. So I think that the gift of achieving and it's I think it's a quote from Tom Hardy, right? That he talks about that the being alone, in I guess the best words I could describe it because it's an exact quote, that nothing wrong with being alone, but the I guess the strength of it is that you learn to not depend on others, and it builds you as a stronger version, probably the strongest version of yourself, not living by the standards of society, having a free will, having responsibility, and finding solutions for all your problems. That's really freedom, that you're not following directions in any way, shape, or form. And if you're responsible enough, if you can, be free enough to not depend on anything else or anybody else, that's the true freedom. So I think people,
Jeez.
because of their I guess natural instincts of validation, which is not just Barbie validation. It's also the social status. Having so much money and and thinking that that's freedom. That's not freedom. The things you buy. That's a quote from Fight Club. The things you own end up owning you,
Yep.
right? So you cannot let that. And I think Uncle Guns talked about this too. That that even if I lose everything today, that I will be able to recover. I will be able to rebuild everything back. And once you achieve that higher awareness of knowing that you have the capability, that you have the fortitude,
Hmm.
that you're mentally and physically in shape to rebuild anything, and not have a dependence on others for anything, that's true freedom. And that, I think, you need to be isolated for that. You need to understand and be aware of yourself, instead of, and oh, another quote, right, by Truth. People are afraid of the darkness because you have to face yourself. It's like
Oh, man,
you
that's
have to
right,
fucking,
man.
you have to
So,
face yourself. You gotta, and well, there's nothing else. You can listen, you can listen to yourself. You can hear the blood pumping in your body, right? And yeah, man, if there's nothing wrong with being alone, nothing wrong with, and one last point I'll make is that that throughout life, as I'm growing up, the I guess I'm in my mid 20s, to approaching 30. Anytime that I actually has something, as a way, think of it like this: that if you think you can talk about your problems and expect answers or help from others, you'll be very disappointed. So one thing I learned is that throughout life, that I have learned to find and solve my own problems, and that's from almost any problem. Yes, you can discuss, with your close friends, family, like a lot of things I discuss over here, with my father, with my brother. Yes, that's okay, but but really, nobody can help you. The only person that can help you is yourself.
mm. Well, I mean,
Peace.
way I look at that comment is this, man. It's not that no one can help you. It's that, dude, you have to choose to accept it and do what's necessary. I mean, the way I look at it, it's funny how you're born alone. Oh my God, look at my miracle child. He was born. And then 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 they say, oh my God, he's alone. Something's wrong with him. What do you mean? You know what I mean? You arrived in this world alone. You know what I'm saying? And you got to know that.
You're supposed to be alpha. You're supposed to.
You know what I mean? But no, the thing is this, man. I just think a lot of guys are hypnotized by somebody said the Disney thing is this, dude. You're a man, bro. You come home, you see your kids, you pat them on the back, whatever. Dude, your woman isn't even supposed to love you, bro. That it's supposed to be boom. She got what she needed. You got. I never understand a guy say I want to have kids. I'm like, all right, you want to have kids, okay? You know you can have that without love or nothing, right? You just explained what you wanted to have. But so many guys have been hypnotized by what I call they've been trained to instill
The hope, wish,
uh,
and want, or
uh,
hope, wish, and desire.
Like you said, 1955.
uh,
Hope, wish, and desire.
no, they've been trained to in all honesty have a middleman between their relationship with their girl. Dude,
A
you're
validator.
supposed to just have trust, man. Trust and respect.
Yeah.
That's it, man. Because you don't have that, none of those other things matter. You know what I mean? And in this society, they advertise in love and all this crap that's all about manipulation. You know what I mean? You could love a stranger, you know what I mean, and not know a thing, and then you're eating like some goddamn leftover meatloaf and you choke from poison. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
A lot of guys have been trained, and the way I look at it with today's system, man, as soon as a man doesn't prioritize himself, numero uno, the only people I compromise with is my fellow man. Other than that, there's no compromise. In fact, let me ask you, David, what
Hey,
are your thoughts, man? What
Well,
are your
here's
thoughts?
here's here's one thought. Woody just mentioned our new Lord and Savior, Tom Hardy, for not backing down to Charlize Theron on the set of when she yelled at him and said, "Oh, he should be fined $1 million." He got in the face. What'd you say to me?
oh shit.
Yeah, he actually
Well,
really
I
did
didn't
that.
know that. I
Yeah,
didn't
he
know that.
faced. He
Wow.
said, "What did you say to me?" And they got in an
Dude,
argument.
dude, that's the thing. I think he was alone for a while, and I think there was nothing else for him, you know. So that was a really good quote. I can't remember the quote exactly, but it was along
Yeah,
the line, like I mentioned, you know. So he understands, you know, solitude. He understands what it's like to be alone.
your greatest time in life, and I'm understanding it's now hitting 40. I have since I do a front facing job. I enjoy the loneliness because it gives me an opportunity to create and do the things I love without any hindrances. The only hindrance I can blame is myself. If I'm distracted, that's on me. But I begin to appreciate it more because I'm not crowded anymore. Now, that whole pit of I'm alone, that comes from social pressure. That's all it is.
Mm,
TV,
Exactly.
music. Remember, we're surrounded by simpy music. We're surrounded by Hallmark holidays. We're surrounded by people who want to keep up with the Joneses. We're surrounded by all this noise. So even though dudes say, I'm alone. Listen, you're not necessarily going to live. You were born alone. You were incubated in a womb alone, unless you had a twin brother or sister, and you're going to leave this earth alone. That's the one black bill fact we have to realize, and we got to spend our
Yeah.
time instead of lamenting in what we don't have, use what we got and obtain other things that we need. That was the greatest lesson I learned, hanging with you guys that I didn't realize. It took me time
Definitely.
to understand,
Yeah.
how to maximize your opportunities because I could
After,
eat. Oh, sorry.
go ahead, bro. Sorry
I
about
could
that.
easily sit around like I used to with my best friend, and he got married. I feel bad because both of us were in MGTOW. We were both bitching and complaining about women all day long, till we both got tired of it, and we got tired of each other. If I could have took that back and said, dude, and actually I did. It was a while back. I was like, bro, I didn't know where my headspace was during that time. We were in a bad space. Um, yeah, it's just you learn. I was on my own now. So I don't have that person to reach out and call like I used to. But now I'm a part of a fellowship where, not that, people have lives going on and stuff like that, where you can reach out. There are places to go. So we're not necessarily alone. It's just we allow the outside interference to bully us to think we're alone, but we really aren't.
Mm.
We really aren't that much alone. We have so many ways. We have so many black mirrors in our pockets that we can contact us. It's not just only for the women, for men, for people to connect. You know what I mean? What happened was, with the situation, some of the other parts of loneliness comes from that relationship thirst. That's all it really is. At times, I don't feel alone. Maybe I'll get a girlfriend and I think I'll be happy. I'll be happy just like my brother or my best friend or whoever. Then you find out it's pure hell because you're trying to keep up, watching Instagram with other couples. It's a constant arms race. An arms race that I don't like being a part of. So those guys who are black people who feel like they're alone, you seriously are not. Yeah, you're a text message and a phone call away, man. No matter what you think. Because one thing happened when I got my bike accident. I thought I was on my own. I didn't realize how many people, friends who actually came out of the woodworks to make sure I was all right. You know what I mean? And I was shocked. I was like, wow, I didn't think that person would have remembered me like that. Some of them were actually enemies, which was weird. I was like, oh, you all right, man? You living there? I'm like, yeah, I'm doing good. So you never know. We're not necessarily alone. It's just this social programming to make you feel like you're alone. That need, kind of like what's that movie? Guns Nose movie I'm thinking about. They Live. The constant pumping of the message of you're alone. You're not a complete man.
Well, yeah, it's what you're saying. What you're saying is what Hold the Truth always says. It's aligning with what he always says.
Mm-hmm.
You only feel alone because you are told by society 24/7 that you're supposed to have this, that you're entitled to that it's that you're supposed to have this, or you're entitled to that. You feel alone because you bought into the bullshit. Like I said earlier, you got these things that you were told you were supposed to have, and now you're like, I have all these things and I'm miserable.
Yeah.
I have all these things and I'm miserable. Why is it? Because again, I have no codes and principles, morals, values, things that I demand of myself. Because once you do that, once you fall into that of having your own path, your own thing, you find out what the magical word is really quick. The most powerful word that I try to teach men. It's so simple that nobody gets it. Most powerful word in the English language. No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I'm not doing that. No. What I will and won't tolerate. That is the true way to fight, quote unquote, loneliness. Once you start demanding things of yourself, once you start demanding things, and once you get, once you start making absolute demands, and like, so, you're gonna run into consequences either way. If you're, oh man, I'm lonely, I'm so, well, 9 times out of 10 you did this to yourself, and you can get yourself out of it. The problem is that, again, guys don't want to do the work, what it takes to get themselves out of it. They want to do what everybody else does. They want to do, once again, what society tells them to do. They want to point fingers and victim and blame shift and say, you did this to me, this group did this to me, and it's this and that. And by the time a lot of guys wake up, they're in their 30s and 40s, and they're just fried. They're
Like,
just
what
completely
the fuck did
fried.
I just do?
Like
Most of, sorry to cut you off. Most divorce. Before I lose the start, like most divorced men say when they're done, I did everything right. What did I do? The God, whole truth.
well, I mean, with what Gunn said is, man, a lot of guys don't know, man, that the thing about consumerism is that we're in a society that tells you to buy into loneliness. You know what I mean? You're buying all these items and objects that literally provide you, like Guns is saying, there's no standards or nothing. I mean, if you buy a shirt, no matter how many shirts you buy, you know what I'm saying, that shirt ain't gonna talk to you. You know what I mean? You're
Correct.
investing into an inanimate object to use it as to identify your identity. And then like I tell guys is that you're chasing trends. Trends are immortal. You know what I'm saying? But you as a mortal person, you know, you can only participate for so long. And there's so many guys investing in that trend. And like Guns is saying, it's that people have been trained. I'm entitled to friendship. I'm entitled. I'm entitled. I mean, it's even in our sports vernacular where we say, "Yo, he deserves a championship." What
What?
the hell you mean he deserves a championship?
Nobody
Did he
deserves to
earn
be a
one? Did,
champion.
did he earn a
Yeah.
championship? You know?
You know that what you were saying too reminds me of a song right now. It's gonna be weird that I say this. Y'all familiar with Adele? That "Chasing Pavements" before she sold out. That was actually a deep song that talks about that. Chasing, should I give up or should I keep chasing pavements? I was like, God damn, this is a deep song.
Oh,
But it kind of relates to what we're talking about. I was like, Jesus, you know what I mean?
oh, well, I
Constantly,
mean,
yeah. Go
oh,
ahead.
go on, my bad.
I was gonna say, yeah, we're kind of chasing this life, or what? That's another issue. What it means to be a man. That's another thing. Society keeps fluidly changing what a man means. You know, they keep changing the definition. They keep constantly pushing the goalposts of being a man. You know, you can't be a man. You are a man. You know, that's something you can't just be. You know, that
Oh,
just
damn.
gives.
Oh, that was deep. You can't be,
Yeah.
man. You are, man. Oh, that right there, I gotta, man. I haven't used these in a while, but that right there, man, that was that's what we call, man. That's
So I put on basically half of the alpha spear. Facts.
Oh God. Oh God.
Facts.
That's delusion right there for him. But yeah,
God,
Yeah.
he's
man.
seeking to be alpha, man. He wants to be a leader and yet offer no leadership. He
All right.
just wants he wants the attention, the clout. You
Well,
know, he wants to feel important.
well, man, to me, I left them out, man. To me,
Yeah.
I think some people are going through you know, midlife crisis, man, because a lot of men, to me, like you said, man, they're moving the goalposts because, yo, all the legal structure has been broken. It's like I said to some dude that a kid, if you had back in the day when you used to be called a bastard, you used to be like, damn, I don't have a father. I got to find a way to be a man and be whole without one. Now it's, oh, you're a bastard. Wear that as a badge. And you know, I was born without a father. I didn't know what a man was, dude. But,
You are one.
back in the day, it used to be, all right, man, I don't got a pops. I see all this stoic. I see all these images. A man is strong. A man is a leader. But what's happened is the government, the society we live in, knows that to increase dependency, you got to break a man down. Once you break a man down to where he's saying, gender is,
Neutral.
gender is a choice.
Fluid. It's like water. What?
It's fluid. That bullshit,
Nah.
man. You know what I mean? It's
If an if an alien looked at you and identified you, and you have a Y and a Y chromosome, they're like you're male.
hey, man. All I know is this: on Halloween, I'm identifying as an owl, so I can get some free Tootsie Pops. You know.
Let's find out. And that's one thing you made a good point. Y'all guys did. That's one thing that took me a little bit to get over. I was blaming women about a lot of stuff. It was just my own ignorance. I was raised in a system that deified, a matriarchal system. And it's the shock of it was the break of it. That's what was a shock. And I'm not saying that Barbies are inferior or anything. It's just a shock because they were overvalued.
Mm.
They were overvalued in that society.
Well, I mean, bring that up. The thing is this, man. To me, I tell guys this: that red pill rage comes from a culture shock. It's
Mhm.
culture shock that, dude. We've watched all these TV shows. Me, you, Uncle Guns, Woody, everybody's watched all these TV
Leave
shows,
it to
and
Beaver.
it's trained us to be entitled to this life when in reality, they're not telling you the legalities. And the way I look at the Barbies, the pandemic is that they've all been trained. I mean, let me go back to that photo. They've all been trained that, okay, you got a job, you're spending your youth at a job looking. For example, I think I was talking to Self-Made or one of the homies
Ah,
about,
it's my boy.
you
Self-based
see
man.
old
Cool.
women at a location, you step away, you're like, something's wrong. Because they use women's youth, I mean, Barbie's youth, to advertise, look, this is a great place. It's happening.
That makes sense, dude.
Uh, man, they've trained them to use their youth as a point to attract, men coming in and all that. And
Simply
they're
customers.
oh, go on. Remember.
Not to cut you off, I was like saying I witnessed this firsthand,
Mm.
and this is at a place of they hired two girls, and I noticed they were getting more sales, and I looked at their clientele; they're all simpy dudes. I was like, wow. I was like, damn, that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, I mean, the women don't. A lot of these Barbies don't understand. Your youth is advertisement. You know what I mean? You put a perfect example was the car wash cliche. How they got some hot Barbies
Yeah.
washing your car, and you like, cause a man, you naturally, you see a fertile an image, and the thing is this: when you see healthy young Barbies, whatever, it triggers in your mind. This is a good place. This place is healthy and this place is thriving. And a lot of them have been raised and taught that I spend most of my youth at my job. You know what I'm saying? For a
Hmm.
stranger you don't know, whatever. And to me, what I come to learn is, you get the black pill knowledge. You learn is that, dude, for you to even be mad at them or angry, you're basically saying you're inferior. Any
Exactly.
any man that compares himself to a woman is seeking inferiority. You know what I mean? Yo, man, they just like us. No such thing, man. No such thing as a woman can't live. You put a woman in a man's life for just a day. Odds
She'll have a
are
heart
she might
attack.
not make it. She might not live the next day.
Didn't
You
they
know what I
prove
mean?
that with women taking most jobs, they're like the chance of heart rate, heart issues and different things they reacted like, differently to certain types of jobs
Mm.
where
Oh,
men
Yeah,
become
they get burned
sedentary.
out quicker.
Yeah.
They get burned out quicker.
And you put a man in a sedentary life, he gets really fat, things like that. We all play our role. We all have our roles.
oh,
We can't, of course situations call for it, it happens, but we weren't, we were made to, to complement each other. We are made for certain particular roles, not just swapping constantly. Do I want to be pregnant and have a kid? No. I'm
oh.
not built for that.
Hell no.
Physically, I physically couldn't take the toll. Their bodies were designed for it. Well, why does it think a man's right to fucking bear his children? Well, what else do you do? You know, that
Uh,
was my question. Like, what else are you here for?
uh,
There's already just just to just to give everybody a quick note because I'm still friends with a lot of people in the military, Navy primarily, of course, but I still have friends in a lot of the
Yeah.
other branches, and they're telling me currently that the like the vast majority of the of the females are like, I'm getting prego. I'm not going over there.
I'm
I'm
out.
getting prego. I'm not doing this.
Uncle Guns is saying they're looking for a guy to put some cream cheese between their bagel.
That's it.
Man, so to me, man, the way I look at it is this, man. We have, with everything going on, man. Especially with this quote unquote, WW3 they're advertising. It's like a WrestleMania. You know what I mean? We're heading to
Fuck off.
WW3, brother. You know what
Fuck
I'm saying?
off.
They're selling the tickets right now. Dude,
It's
you
gonna
got
be a
nukes, man.
slobber knocker.
It's gonna be a
Jim Ross.
slobber knocker.
Jim
It's
Ross
gonna
is
be,
gonna be commentating.
it's gonna be what was my man's name? The Road Russian Warrior.
Oh yeah, Vlad. Yeah. What's his name?
Uh,
The Ivan Putski, the Polish
uh,
Power.
Lipinski, you know what I'm saying, Randy American Savage is bringing the drones. You know what I mean? It's dude, man. It's literally they're going to war with countries where you know what I mean they don't have guns. You
Hey,
know what I mean? They
hey,
don't
at
got the
least
nuke standard, man. I'm gonna
those
start
guys.
selling that shirt, man. The nuke standard.
Those guys are idiots. They're actually on the other side in the red country. The one with the red flag. They're weaponizing their Sims. They're training them. I'm like, why are you guys not doing that? if these guys want to do what they got to do, I'll make a special platoon of them if it came to that. Like y'all guys want to go out there and do something, let's go. You know what I mean? That sounds scary, but hey, that's how you do it. You know,
I
that's
mean,
what they're doing over there. I mean, that's smart. Don't get me wrong on their end. That's kind of smart. Promise them you have you have three. When you come out of this, you'll have 3 squares and a wife. Good
man.
God! I'm like, oh my God, that'd be horrible. But nah, that was the biggest black pill though. This little thingy going on when they gave all the dudes the guns. That was a big black pill right there that people kind of overlooked. A lot of people did. Even the coaches and the roaches overlooked. They had nothing to say about that.
I mean, the Roaches is this, man. They're hustling a brand that no longer exists, man. To me, you know, there's so many, back in the day, let's go to the 90s, man.
Oh
Before
my God.
before the cell phone, internet, and no, in fact, let's go to the 80s, man. Before the cell phone, because here's the thing, man. A chick, even back then, dudes were getting flaked, man. The thing is this: you don't have full control. You talking with a broad, she goes to the ladies' room and just Instagram, DM the dude she gonna meet after dinner, or whatever. You know what I mean? The thing is, these coaches, these dating coaches, teaching you a level of control. Even with what Gunn said is no. No means you're gonna, I forget the word, you're gonna disengage. You're gonna leave the situation. And
Yeah.
another thing these dating coaches are teaching you that's dangerous is they're teaching men a lot of I would say pro damn near, well, you can't say the word taken. They're teaching men a lot of, pillaging. You know what I mean? She don't got the right to not be attracted to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the hell do you mean, bro?
What level of desperation is that?
Yeah.
I'm currently I've been teaching men to be the guy that she's going to the bathroom and texting.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah, let me welcome, man.
Women prefer beta energy. Period. They don't like, and I'm using placeholders. I'm using placeholders. Just like pills and all the other shit. I'm just using placeholders. So women prefer blue pill energy. They prefer it because why is that? Because they can walk all over you. They can do whatever they want. They can get whatever they want. They again, they will utilize the weaker man for resources and whatnot, but they will step out and they really want to be with the alpha. They really want to be with, the real guy. But the problem is that the
Joey
alpha
Rods.
guys, like, they're too stringent. They're too demanding. But the cool thing is that, if you do this long enough and if you're very stringent enough, you will get one sooner or later that you say, okay, you wanna be with me? This is what it takes.
Don't the alpha guys end up becoming beta anyway?
Sometimes yes. I won't lie, because a lot of channels do talk about female nature, whatever the fuck that means. In my experience and my data that I've collected throughout the long time, the true female nature is to get a strong guy and break his ass down, because that's what they've done throughout millennia. As some channels would say, the barbarians would come in, kill all the men, keep the women and children alive just for a slave cunny population, and then the women would have to basically the women would have to manipulate the men. That's where a lot of the that's the real manipulation. A lot of people, and I don't want to talk about this too much, but a lot of guys have this misconception that when guys run game, it's manipulation. No, the real manipulation is when women will break a man down, and a man capable of being broken down is once again a man that has no values, codes, morals, or standards. He doesn't demand any yes or no of himself.
Well, I mean, I'll say this, man. A lot of guys that put that out, man, to me, they leave out they leave out the laws, man. Dude, a woman ain't gonna break you down. I've been to countries. I went back home, whatever, Haiti. There's other countries they show it's a legal thing. It's all legalities. What woman would step up to her man if she knew that the law wasn't gonna allow it, where she could just put a false case on him? Is that most countries you see where the man's in charge, even the one where the with where WWE presents WW3 is going on, them women don't step out of line.
Yeah,
A
it's like the
woman ain't
Saudi countries.
breaking
Yeah,
the woman ain't breaking no man down. It's just that we're in a society where they've
that allows
trained
it.
men that it's normal for you to be broken down. No, you're a man. You come home, you know what I'm saying? You do what you want to do. And if she don't she listens and does what she's supposed to do. She sticks to her friends and stuff. You see a lot of guys, and to me it's inevitable the way the system's designed. You got these Chad worshipers. So, oh, I want to be a Chad. Then you see Chad picking up her groceries, holding her purse, and I've seen it where I'm at the bar working, and I'm literally talking to dude's girl, and he just sitting there like he a lap dog,
Yeah,
and
Bump on the log.
this chick touching up
because
on my hands, telling me, "Oh, you're
they
big, you're
they
such a
default
big
to
man," and he just takes
yeah,
it. I'm like, yo, this is fate. This is what you're willing to do for a piece of fish, man. It's the law, man. You remove the law system, Uncle Guns will come home. And you know what I'm saying? His chick cooked the food, and he's like, he tasted, he just threw it away and said, I'm good. I had what I wanted. She ain't gonna say nothing. It's gonna be, well, I guess you didn't want that. You want me to cook something else? Nah, I'm just
yeah.
not hungry
That
today.
that happens. By the way,
You know what I
that
mean?
happens.
Yeah,
If it's not how I want it, it you know, I throw it away and make her cry.
Oh,
damn,
Period. Yeah, because women crave that drama.
that
And if they
conflict.
don't, if you don't create the drama and give it to her but do it on your terms, then she will create it on her terms and make it a big mess. You got to understand women and know what they want, and then give it to them when the timing is right. It's not fun sometimes, but oh well, that's too much work. Well, I guess again, the companionship thing. You're going to want companionship sooner or later. I got nothing but love. I got nothing but love for QB Willie and Based Escort Cell. They got their own thing going. And I salute them for it. Nothing wrong with a man going out there and doing what the fuck he wants to do, and I will defend forever your right to do it. Okay, but when it comes down to this, is one thing: you money and resources will buy a woman's companionship. It will buy her company, but it will not guarantee her being, agreeable and
Loyalty.
submissive.
Yeah.
well, I mean, with that, I look at it. In fact, let me ask Varun, man. He right here. Any thoughts on since you any thoughts on the loneliness and man, I message you, man. I respect the spiritual, but you gotta understand, man. We talking straight logic, man. Because once you drop spiritual, you eliminate. What happens is you don't get what you're doing is you eliminate any guy taking you seriously because you're not. We ask you if the fire is hot. You go beyond that, then I start looking at it as you're not listening. You know what I mean? But what are your thoughts on the loneliness when a man accepts the truth and what's going on with his life?
No, loneliness, like you'll have to it'll in the beginning it'll drive you crazy, but late on you'll have to get adjusted to it, and you'll have to adapt to it actually, and eventually you'll get used to it, to be honest.
Mm,
It'll teach you actually like how to be reliant on yourself and not to be reliant too much on others. So that's also one of the lessons that life teaches you, to not be too dependent on others. So if you want emotional support or anything like that, if you learn to rely on yourself when you're being alone, it's pretty good actually. Like when you have emotional upheavals, or when your mind becomes unstable, you can again relax the whole thing through breathing exercises.
Hmm.
So that way you can cope somehow with life.
mm,
You know
Mhm.
what? One thing I want to say real quick, Azrael, we love you, buddy. And Azrael, he does bring a lot of points, and I really like his insights and connections with with history, and one great thing also he brought when he was debating with Mike on the religious aspect is that that okay, we look at demons and the devils and everything that's negative, right, has a negative to our life. But what if it's and that's the only thing I'll say, truth. I know I'm not gonna go into religion at all. Trust me. So, but what if we in a way have a different understanding that if God is almighty, what if the devil or the demons or the dark side is there, also has a creation of the all powerful God, right?
A
And then
purpose.
that kind of also opened my mind that okay, maybe that it is there for a reason. We might see it as negative, but it could be a creation, right? Nonetheless, and it could be also there to do its job in a way. If things like that or outer world or spirituality, exist. So it was a really good point by Asverum. So we love you, buddy.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna tell you this, dude. I spoke to one of my homies, and to me, man, I'll say this, bro. If the devil was real, odds are you would befriend the devil before you befriend a politician because at least the devil's honest. The devil's like, yo,
Yep.
man, you kill somebody, I got you. I got a place waiting for you down here. We're gonna torture you for the next whatever. A politician will kiss a baby while giving orders to drop some drones on some innocent people at a wedding. So, you know what I mean? So to me, man, a lot of times, I don't want to get. It's not that I don't get spiritual. I say this, man. When you're talking to, a lot of guys like we're talking. Once you bring up something that creates conflict or that needs them to feel a certain way, believe something, then you won't get to the point of the discussion, and you basically create a scenario where, yo, we were talking about this from the legal standpoint, and once you drop outside of that, becomes they look at you as antagonistic and creating some alternative narratives. The way I look at it, man, let's be honest, man. If you look at God and the devil, I'm not a person who believes in evil. It took me over 20 years to realize that it don't exist. There, in reality, in the truth, reality, there's opportunity. If Uncle Guns saw my car was open and I went to the crib, Uncle Guns can either get in that car, do something that I'm gonna, that'll harm me, or Uncle Guns could, close the door. Or in today's society, he just walks away, and that's his problem. You know what I mean? So to me, we're not in a system where good and evil exists. It's all opportunity. We live by the law of opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, what's being said and used is to manipulate us. You know what I mean? So the way I look at it, man, I wouldn't. I look at religion. Religion, you don't need to believe nothing. There's no evidence needed. It's all about belief. And you can't debate or talk to somebody in belief. It becomes who's gonna talk until one of us runs out of breath. And you've seen it on debates where they're debating a person with their religion and all it, yeah, but God and blah, 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 until somebody runs out of breath. You know what I'm
And they
saying?
grow quiet for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, you also said that religion is the immovable sword, that only the true religious could take the sword out of the stone.
It's all you talking about the religion of the blade of religion. Pull
Oh
it
my
out the
god.
righteous
Yep,
stone.
yep, exactly.
You'll be like Uncle Guns can't pull that blade because he slept with a woman without knowing her name.
Yeah, only the worthy, only the closest to
He's a
God.
blasphemer. That's
It's
one
it's
thing I
like it's
hate
it's like the
about.
lifting the Thor's hammer. Oh no, I was just gonna say it's like lifting the Thor's hammer. Only few have the capability.
Oh,
Yeah,
uh,
didn't someone get kicked out of a community? Yeah, that was a funny story. When they got kicked out of the community because it's too fringe. It gets too fringy and cringy. That's the only thing I don't like. It gets
uh,
too fringy and cringy. That's what I call it. It
uh,
becomes fringe, and then all of a sudden, you get too many opinions, and they start, going from their emotional point of view rather than going from the actual object lesson.
uh,
Taking it as is. Because again, like you were saying at the beginning of the stream, about well, not the beginning, but somewhere in the middle, you were saying that, which is a good point, that we got to stop saying we feel. That's something that we were trained to say. Come search your feelings. Like the Star Wars, search your feelings. The Jedi failed because they felt too much.
Well,
They didn't use their logic.
It's true, because what was the
you
system?
to identify
Which
with
is a lie,
feelings.
is only
I
passion.
tell guys, dude,
Yeah.
we're a feel society, man. Guys are asking, I want to be happy. Dude, happiness, all that crap is a distraction. Man. You
Subjective.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? You want to worry about your existence. Take away, offer a man happiness and smiles and take away food, shelter, and your security. Let's see how long he lasts. Let's see how long he lasts on a bowl of, that could be a good ass brand of cereal. Good old bowl of happiness.
Yeah.
Oh,
And that's why
hell
right now society is an illusion,
Right.
because if you
yeah.
think of through competition, true work ethics, to hire the person that's the most qualified and is willing to do, go beyond, right? You know who it's going to be. It's going to be majority of the men,
You know what's funny
but
too about that? I've noticed that with the work sector that I work in, they operate on percentiles because percentiles are not certain. There's no, like, when you do a job, you do your job to completion. That's what I'm used to doing.
yeah.
What they
And
do is,
David, who's the top people, top in sales over there at your work?
a woman.
What,
Shockingly,
really?
shockingly, yes. I'm the top,
Yeah.
like I'm the top in like helping customers. Service part of it,
Mhm.
I'm really good at. But for sales quotas and stuff, it's the top is a woman, and I wasn't
So
shocked about it. I wasn't
so
upset.
the thing is, majority of the times, right? Majority of sales in different fields that I've always observed, it's usually the guys, and it could be. I think it's more of, it's almost half and half in my
Mhm.
observation, that are married guys and single guys, because single guys who do, who are the top earners and top sales, they usually have a pretty good lifestyle, so just because of it. And then the other guy is also, that, they're married, they got kids, so it's almost half and half in that case.
One thing I did notice too, when when I look at my like promoter score or net promoter score, whatever, and my customer interactions, customers don't come back for me. There's barely, there's issues where there's barely anything, to worry about. And that's one thing I noticed with a percentile job, like in those type of positions, they can,
Hmm.
as long as they're doing a percent of the job where I complete it. So that's one thing I do like about being a man. I'm a little more thorough. I don't like to leave any stones unturned. With a lot of their
Hmm.
work, there's always a paper trail. There's always an issue. There's always something. That's one thing
Right, right.
I'm proud, proud of being a man. I'm very complete, completionist. And I'm not, no knock to her. It was just the truth, it was the truth.
Uh, Well, I
But
mean, the thing is this, man. I even say with the job thing, we need to stop. You got this in the lesser pill community. Women work less and all. Dude, none of
Mhm.
that matters. The
Yeah.
end of the
Yeah.
day, they can work, we can work. We just got to
Yeah.
focus on the basics. And at the end of the day, one big problem we got in the manosphere is we got crotch watchers, guys
Yeah.
watching another guy's crotch. I mean, the amount of guys who are obsessed about Chad's crotch. Man, he gets all this and that. Dude, are you the one getting this experience?
Right.
Exactly.
I've never understood the worry about another man's experience when you're not getting it. It's as though David's eating, what I'm saying, at an expensive restaurant. I'm like, damn, man, how come David get to eat at an expensive restaurant and I don't? I'm like, dude, you're not the one eating it. Why does it
Yeah.
matter? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And that's the lesson I had to learn unconsciously. Like you're saying it now. In that moment, I was starting to bubble up like, that's not fair. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm the type of worker where I progressively get better. I look like I progressively get better and better. I keep going up versus
Peace.
starting up and then declining down. So you can start, high, but I watch people decline. I like the type of work that I have. It rises. I get better every day.
Uh, I
You know.
mean, to me, man, in the manosphere, man, there's especially in the the gray pill sector, man. To me, I look at it as we have a new religion, man, and the new
Oh
religion
man.
is the virtuous woman, and Chad is Jesus, man, and and Chad died so us incels may one day worship
Live
the
off his
virtuous
refuse.
woman.
So he can live off his refuse.
Yeah,
That's
now
horrible.
Chad may bless us with his leftovers, so one day we may touch a woman of value. You know what I
Hey,
mean? You do
call
it.
him that. You know, I'm sick of hearing that. Tommy Lauren killed that word.
Oh,
Value. She killed that word.
Lord,
I
man.
was like, Lord have mercy. She
Hey,
she
hey, I got a question. I got a question for Azroom. If you want to finish, David, I'll go after you.
yeah, I was gonna say she kept saying value, value. The girl on the panel with we were last on with Duke and Don, value. I'm
Oh,
like, do you even understand the word what the word means, value? That's a two-part situation there. It's not a one-sided thing,
oh.
you know. You
Well, I
got
mean, you gotta understand. A lot of the guys don't speak. Man, Donovan Sharp killed the word womanese, but it's
oh
true.
Jesus.
It's true. Women speak a different lingo, because their perspective is different. But to me, her perspective of value, like they had a simp hunter on that stream where she said, "Yeah, guys, you should approach every woman, and all the approaches that fail makes you stronger." She's basically, if you translate it in woman, it basically means give every woman a chance of opportunity for validation. Dude, you got to know how to speak it. If you really translate what a woman says, it's a whole different language. You know what I mean? Because it comes from a
Yeah.
perspective of emotional validation. But before Woody asks it, let me play this quick. Since Woody's about to ask for room, give me one
Answer the
second.
question. Answer the question. Answer the
Answer the question, Azroom.
Answer the
All right.
question.
I would say to Tommy Loren that why don't you tell all women and all your sisters, to give every guy a chance, or actually, marry a guy that they are totally not attracted to, or makes them puke, right? Why don't they do that, right? All right. So for a question for Azroom, all right, Azroom, can you talk about the gynocentrism in India and the work environment, and if there is any laws placed with affirmative action or choosing of the void gender, if you can give us any perspective on that.
See, in India, actually, the cities are becoming completely westernized, all right? The marriages are
Oof.
collapsing. Like within a year or within a few months, the marriages are collapsing. But the villages and the towns, they're still conservative, actually. They're like the marriages last. But slowly, actually, like that same disease that the West is suffering from, it's slowly creeping into every part of the country. Slowly, it's becoming
Mhm.
just like the West.
How's the work environment, and is there any affirmative actions, or any pick and choosing, like in California, that you gotta have, I think, 20% uh,
Oh,
Barbie gender in your board meetings, or one of the, I guess, I don't know if it's the board meetings, or it's the top meetings of the managers, so how is that over there?
No, so far that hasn't come, but slowly it will come. It's going to happen, dude. Over here, actually, like it's overpopulated. Even the marriages here are collapsing. Actually, what's happened. Actually, I think there are too many people on the planet, man. All the abnormalities that you're seeing in relationships is created by nature only, so that human beings will get disgusted with relationships and stop procreating. Otherwise, how the hell will you sustain an ever-growing population on Earth? It's done by nature only. That's why I keep telling you guys, we have no free will. We have no free will. If we had free will, we could have done whatever we wanted. We wouldn't have been so miserable. But like whenever I tell it to Mike or something, every time he fires up and he doesn't believe me, man. That's the problem, actually.
Ooh, how
Uh,
are the marriage laws in India?
No, marriage laws are before, actually it used to be a completely male dominated society. So like actually women were treated like trash. Then when the British ruled us, right after the
oh
British ruled
yeah.
us, they changed the laws, and it favored women more, actually. Otherwise, The man, when he married the woman, she was supposed to give him a car, a lot of money,
You
and
better
she was
get out of here
supposed
with
to.
that shit.
Yeah, seriously, she was.
In Japan, in Japan, it's the same. In Japan, it's the same. Before
She's
that, it was a very masculine culture, but but now it's they're disappearing slowly too.
It's more, yeah, more hype. Was it
Yeah, the
Hikikomori?
dwindling population.
Hey,
Yeah,
What happened was that with Japanese people, they were the most violent in World War II, not the Nazis. So to
yeah,
actually like curb that down, what
Yeah,
happened
they
was that
were
this
like ruthless.
extremely violent. Actually, Unit 731, the kind of horrific experiments that they've done, it will put even the Nazis to shame. If you compare what the Japanese did to the Chinese and other prisoners of war, the Nazis look like civilized barbarians. These guys went crazy.
but,
They were
but
practicing
as room,
cannibalism. Huh.
Nazis did a lot of similar experiments too.
Yeah,
So so
oh
so
no,
Hey, yeah, we gotta be
no,
careful with that. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, you
yeah.
don't want
oh,
to
okay,
use that
okay.
word, but hold up. One thing he said, the Japanese were eating people. My boy told
yeah,
me about how they went to Korea and said, "Yo, that's not a human, that's an animal." And they were eating Chinese, they were eating
yeah.
the people. But to me, with everything going on, you want to stay away from that with YouTube. And I'll say this, dude, you gotta don't fall for that BS, man. Whenever some streams won't correct it or say it, but dude, we have more than enough room in this world. And we got free will. The problem, guys, you won't mention is that the law affects free will. Your fellow man, you know what I'm saying? If I want to go
Yeah,
rob, if I want to go rob, David, you know what I'm saying? I want to rob David. The law will say, yo, if you do that, you know what's going to happen. David has a gun. There's limits. It's healthy. There's a limitation to your free will. Because if there was no limit, yo,
Oh,
we'd be,
the
yeah,
oh
it'd
my
be straight
God,
war right now. We'd be wild.
theocracy.
You
See,
know what I
hold the
mean?
yeah,
truth. Hold the truth. I know what you're saying, but the problem actually
Good.
is there has never been any free will. I'll give you one example only, man. See, when a son, when a child is born to a mother, she'll obviously want the best things for her child in life. No mother will want her child to become a drug addict. No mother will want her child to kill someone and go to jail.
I see what he's
This,
saying.
yeah, see,
Yeah,
everyone wants the best for their children. Now in our country, when the child is born, we strongly believe in astrology. Even before marriage, they check the horoscopes a lot. So my mother's friend, they're a family friend,
I
they
was waiting
actually,
for it.
Rome,
listen.
you're doing it
I was
again,
waiting
brother.
you
for
gotta
it.
be careful,
No,
man.
Rome,
not that.
man, you gotta stay away from
You
that.
gotta dial a little back, man. You're
Yo,
good
the
though.
thing, dude, but Varun, hold up. You know
Just
what you're
can't
doing,
help it.
Varun. You know what you're trying to say. You're basically trying to say that everyone's entitled. You're not talking about freedom of will. You're talking about entitlement. Yo,
Not
a
not
child could be
entitled.
born. Hold on. A child could be born healthy. You know what I'm saying? He's not entitled to a healthy life. You know what I'm saying? So it's part of life, bro. You gotta live. You could die. You could walk outside right now,
And
cleaning
that's
your
it.
lawn, and a stray bullet falls from the sky on your head, man. You don't. It's life, bro.
Must have been the wrong
It's
sign.
that's the thing actually, man. See, what they gave in her book was he will get addicted to drugs, and at the age of 19 he will run over a guy actually. So she thought it was nonsense, and they also said that her husband's elder brother will ruin the whole family business. They had 3 factories manufacturing automobile parts, and they were doing really well. They were traveling to different countries and getting good deals as well. They said that both the brothers will cheat your husband. The elder brother will ruin the whole business. Your husband will suffer from leg pain. The circulation of blood in
Yeah,
the leg
but
won't be proper.
as a
Then what
rule, bro.
happened?
Yo. Hit me up, man. We don't. The thing is, man, we respect the spirituality, but that ain't what we talking about, man. You gotta stay on the subject, and the
I,
thing
I'm,
is,
I'm
people have choices, man.
I'm
Choices
s-
in life.
I'm staying on the subject, man.
No,
That's what I'm trying to say. No
bro.
one wants bad things in life, but bad things happen, all right. No one wants to grow old, but people grow old. No one wants to actually go through many unpleasant experiences, but it always happens, right? I mean, like, okay, fine. There have been many times when they've planned for like the best things and everything goes topsy turvy as well. No one wants wars to happen, but humankind is filled with warfare as well. So,
But
like, we always are getting what we don't want only, no, man. Life is filled with
no,
suffering, actually.
Nah, bro. Life. Here's the thing, man. This is a lot of other streamers won't say. Here's the black pill truth of this. You know, the world was here before us.
Yeah,
What
Yeah.
does the world owe us
yeah.
when we came? We're literally we came after it. It's us being greedy, dude. The world don't owe you nothing. You know what I mean?
Greed,
The world
greed.
was hold on. The world was here before us, man. A lot of people trying to say the world should just spend to build itself on what we want. That's greed and corruption, man. And the majority of people don't want war. And let's be honest, it's part of animal instincts. And to me, in reality, it's a sign of how unintelligent humans have reached. You got countries fighting each other when literally, dude, all it takes is a little big rock from space to land here. At least the dinosaurs, we could all agree the dinosaurs weren't smart. You know what I'm saying?
No, they weren't. Yeah.
If a meteor takes us out, then man, we really are failures, man. You know what I'm saying? And you going to you having all this conflict over nothing. As for wanting life, you know what you're doing. What you're doing here is the victimhood and validation. Dude, the world don't owe you nothing. And here's the thing you got to ask about death is that death is part of life. Why do they make us so afraid of something that's inevitable and that's part of the contract of life? They
You're
want
gonna
you
die alone, you know.
Yeah,
uh,
but see, that's what I've been trying to tell over here, man. Every time you always get what you don't want, or you're always frustrated because tell me something, man. A person will want more and more and more in life. He'll desire more and more and more. But does he get everything that he desires? No, if he had free will, we could have done anything that we wanted, right? Like, who doesn't? But
Varun,
why doesn't
man,
that happen?
Smirking out a little bit.
you're pushing entitlement, man. We're
It's
not
not.
entitled, and you can want whatever you want. Want is
It's
the
not.
process of a
It's
thought.
not.
You know what I
It's
mean?
not.
I wanna eat a cream, dude. I wanna eat for 20. I wanna eat at a buffet and not gain 1 pound. Yo, man, it's you can want whatever you want. The world isn't entitled to bend to what you want. The world, think about it like this, dude. You're telling me if an ant wanted to eat everything in my fridge, that I'm gonna do it. That's what you are. That's what we are. We're an ant compared to the world as a whole. We're nothing. And people have been trained with validation. It don't matter if you want a healthy baby, whatever you want. None of that matters, man. In the bigger spectrum of the world, we're nothing. And once you understand that we're nothing, then things you start this seeking what you need, and you know what I mean, and focus on what you can and can't do. That this whole goal of them selling us free will is being able to do what you want. That's a delusion.
That's
That's
what
feeding
even
us craziness, man.
I
There's no
I
such thing.
I've been trying to say the same thing as well, man. If free will existed, we could have done everything that we wanted. Like,
No,
that's what that's what
room.
that's what I've been trying to tell you the same thing. See over here, I was telling you that time itself, right? No woman, no mother wants her child to go through any bad incidents in her lives. Now, that's what. Let me come back to my own friend. When he was born, they said that this is what is going to happen in his life. This is what will happen to your husband. No, who will believe in that? So if you tell someone, okay, your husband's business is going to fail, your son is going to get addicted to drugs and he's going to run over someone, who's going to believe it? Obviously, they'll say it's nonsense. Then what happened was that he grew up, all right. When he grew up, actually, he did start taking drugs, and then they put him into engineering. He did not like engineering at all, and he
Yeah,
went
but
out with his, yeah, he got addicted to drugs that day. This He's driving with his friend, and he ran the car over a guy. The villagers came to hit him, but they escaped off during that period
that's
because his
room.
friend
That's
was.
room. Hold up. Yo, man. Cut the dude. Things happen, bro. You're asking people to
I
not have
know
any
things
critical
happen, man. I know
thinking.
things happen.
Then
I'm
who
telling you this.
cares?
The
It's
level,
life,
the
bro.
the
You're
level.
trying to tell everyone everything because we can't. We're not entitled to everything we want.
It's
Freedom of
not
will
the
doesn't
question of
exist.
entitlement. It's not the question of
That's what you're
entitlement.
saying. You're
It's
saying
not the.
entitlement, man, and
It's
you're a
not the.
victim. because you don't get what you want, man. Dude, we're not, the world ain't supposed to bend to your will, man. And they could tell you some coincidence. You want to know what you're missing from this story? Okay, he got hooked on drugs. Okay, how did he
And he killed
get,
that person
how,
also as well.
hold on,
They
hold on.
said
How did, listen, how did he get access to drugs? You're missing a lot of the critical thinking aspects.
before this, they had written it in the book itself, man, that he's going to do this, and that
Bro,
happened actually.
you say
When you're
this,
born, yeah, when you're born, they wrote the whole thing as well.
bro,
That day, I even had an argument with Pops, and I mean not Pops, sorry, Muhammad. Then Woody Johnson said, Varun, Muhammad is a doctor. This is the best part. See, doctors are supposed to know everything about medicine. I am an illiterate when it comes to gastroenterology, man. My stomach started failing me. I started burping too much, and whenever I would eat food, it would stay in my stomach for a very long time. So what do, man? You go to the I went to the best doctors in my city. They said, get a blood test done, get a stool test done, get a urine test done.
yeah,
They
yeah,
took the whole thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Maroon, man, hear
Listen
me
to
out.
this. Listen to this, man. I went to
Maroon,
them.
Maroon, hold on, yo. What does
You're
this have
comparing
to
two
do with
different
what
things.
we're talking about, man? You gotta stay on the subject. You
I'm
know, all the
staying on this. I'm hold,
spirits and stuff, dude.
hold, hold
You
the
can.
truth hostage. I am staying on this. I'm staying on
No,
this
you're
subject.
not, bro. You're
I'm
missing. You're trying to say you're not staying logical here, man. You're
I'm
trying to
staying.
say your whole life is based on some spiritual choice and stuff like that, dude,
There
man.
is no choice. There is no free will,
There
man.
is
Or
choice.
There is.
karmatic.
See, they had said that I will suffer
And
from after 19, your phase of mercury will begin and you'll suffer from stomach ailments. All right. I did not believe in that nonsense, but my stomach did start failing me, dude. They wrote it in a goddamn. They wrote it in a book and gave it, like, not in a book, in these booklets actually. In this year, you will start getting stomach
oh
problems, and
man,
you see, dude. See,
dude, that we not
Maybe
talking about. So
all
yeah.
dude, you're
all the
going
evidence.
spiritual and stuff, man. You
Spurging
gotta
out,
stay
man. You're
on the
cool,
point,
but you're
man.
spurging out, bro.
You
This
gotta
this
stay on
is
the point,
Spurging
man.
out a little bit there.
I'm gonna let you,
yeah.
chill a little, man. Well, because you spoke about this last time, man. It's the same script. You gotta understand, dude. The world doesn't owe you nothing. We're ants. We're nothing compared. The world was here before me and you, man. You know what I mean? So
So
what does the world owe you? And it don't matter if somebody wants a healthy child. None of this matters because your free will doesn't control the will of the world and what's going on, bro. You're free. Just because you don't control shit don't mean you ain't free. So because I want to, if David told me, yo, man, winter's about to end, and he opens his window and it doesn't end. He don't got free will because winter didn't end because David ain't ordered it. Come on, man. That you're
hold the
Talk
going
about
truth.
to,
manifesting things,
Hold the truth.
that's like
yeah,
it's no better than Tony Robbins, bro.
yeah.
Hold the truth hostage. See, one thing is free will means you have no limits. You can do whatever you want. All right. If you,
Nah,
yeah,
you go.
listen over here. If you get a
Nah,
disease, you don't need to go to the doctor. You can cure it on your
nah,
own
bro,
through the force.
nah, dude.
Dude. Tell me
Dude,
something, man.
how
No one
were
wants
we
to.
born? How were we
That's
born? We weren't just we were born from
Miles, I'm not
uh,
even sure anymore.
an,
see
an
over
act of man, room.
see over here.
We don't want.
We've
From
been
birth to death.
co-opted. No, I'm joking.
I would say, okay, all right, Azrael, make your last point, and if truth, if you want to make your last point, let's move on from to
Oh
a
yeah,
different subject.
it's out, man. Room, I put you in the back, man, because dude,
He
you're
was
going at
spurging
the
out. He
point
was
of
spurging out a little bit.
I call it iceberging. You iceberging, and the thing is, dude, you have freedom of will. Just because the world won't bend to your will doesn't mean you don't got freedom. You know
No
that.
offense, no offense to him. When you get so spiritual and you read,
Uh,
you begin to lack base reality. And what
uh,
happens is you begin to believe. And then sometimes I kind of believe this where you can manifest certain things.
uh,
You can literally manifest things. If you're so spiritual, you know what I mean? These things happen. Stomach aches happen. That
uh,
happens. That's a factual thing. If I if I eat a pack of Oreo cookies right now,
uh,
whole big pack with a
uh.
lot of milk, I'm definitely gonna get the mud butt. It's gonna happen. That's
Sir,
inevitable. It's
sir,
inevitable.
you ain't say it right. You ain't say if I ate a whole pack of America's favorite cookie.
I'm gonna be reading War and Peace in the bathroom. It's gonna happen.
Uh,
So I
oh,
mean, yeah, go
no,
ahead.
go on. No, go on.
Yeah, it's just sometimes some people in this space, no offense to Varun, we get so locked in the logic, we end up starts to become fantasy, and it starts to become, you start to, like Caduceus would say, you start to spurg out a little bit.
Under that iceberg, hit
Yeah,
the iceberg, man.
spurging out.
It's to me, man. Don't mean to interrupt you. Is that dude? You can't base free will on you don't have choice to manipulate. One thing we suffer from in the manosphere is that we don't point out when someone has an issue. Dude, Varun, you've been using the same line on every stream since day one. We don't point out that guys are, they're not all the way there. You got Turd Flinging Monkey talking about, I'm a monkey and I'm in love with dolls, and I buy my doll,
Celestina.
dresses and clothes because my doll wants it. Dude, you're mentally, you're not there, bro. You mentally ain't 100% there. Then we got Sandman saying, yo, I get with a woman, I just get so in love that I can't control myself. Dude, something's wrong with you, bro. Yeah. But because you're in the manosphere, we don't call it out, man. Yo, man, I'm gonna say from now on, man, no more manosphere passes, man. If you got a problem, you got a problem, man. You know what I mean? You can't say, yo, we don't got free will. And think about this. It's that Texas alone, you could fit the whole world in Texas and still got room.
It's a self-sustained country on its own.
But dude, truth, you don't think it's still a net positive, amongst like the manosphere? I mean, I understand, like when there's wrong and wrong, but it's still a net positive with these guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look at that. There's room. You're saying prove it. You can't prove that existence because we don't control everything. We don't have free will, man. You're falling off the logic sphere right now, man. It's become you're too obsessed with the spiritual and what you believe.
Life is a set of choices, man.
Well,
Life is a set of
As
choices.
Varun, let's disagree and move on. That's what I would say.
If I was a girl, I probably already fell asleep. Whoops, I didn't say that.
Hey, what's good, self-made? What's up, man?
Hey, what's good, bro?
What's up, self-made?
What's going on, guys? I'm going to the bank, and I caught a little bit, and I was just rolling. When you brought up dolls, I had to come on the stream.
Ultimate.
Hey yo, could I get some money, self-made?
You need some money.
He's rolling on dubs right now. He's about to walk in with his
right.
Woody, there will be a couple points added to that.
Okay.
We will take bone payments. Or real bone payments.
Hey,
Dude.
Oh, I was gonna say you got the handcuff suitcase. That ain't going nowhere.
I was just waiting for. I've been like lurking around. I'm just waiting for Solo to come out of the woodworks.
Don't summon him.
Let that man rest.
Oh, dude, what if he shows up? Holy shit!
Oh shit! I'm out of here if he shows up. That's
Dude, if he does, I'm gonna ask him about the de facto, the old school president. Why didn't he at the beginning of the year become it? Because he was saying it was gonna happen. That's what I would ask him. Let's shut him up real quick.
Dude, that dude, man, he's so far gone. It's like this is gonna be his life, man. Sitting there arguing with people online, that's his life, man.
Well, to me, been doing this. My thing is this, man. There ain't no point in the way I look at it. No point in bringing. You don't talk when there ain't no logic behind. You leave that person alone, man. Yeah. Then it becomes they occupying too much space in your head. But guys, my battery about to die.
Yeah, I gotta head to work in a minute anyway, too. I'm about to fly out of here.
Any last words? We'll start with David since he got to roll out.
David, you're getting flued out?
Huh? Nah, not yet, man. Dude, that's your life, man. I can't be like you, bro. You gotta come.
Man, we can't all be self-made, bro. We can't all be rich like self-made over here.
Yeah, they paying you, dude. You don't have to do nothing. No play. Nah, but I was gonna say,
preach, brother, preach.
Listen, we gotta that's the one thing about this sphere. I love that we're in a season now where things are changing. A lot of the illogic it's coming out of it. We're coming to a logical place. We're coming to a place where it's cause and effect. We're dealing in those realms, in actual logic, And remember, you're not alone. You're a phone call away from somebody. You know, you're a text message away from somebody. You're an instant message. Where how can we be alone in such a connected time? I mean, it is true though. Don't get me wrong. You know, I saw a commercial one day where they said a girl was sitting at the bus stop and they said she has 500 something friends, but no one's here to pick her up at the bus stop. You know what I mean? That happens. So it just goes to show with social media, it's just it's a proper I call it a propaganda loneliness. It's not a true loneliness, it's a propagandized loneliness so you can buy into society what they're trying to sell you, creating that scarcity, you know. So you have
Well,
hobbies, you know, value your, you know, I'll say to everyone, value your alone time. This is a time you can be rational with yourself. This is a time where you can go over things without any noise, you know, with no
well,
noise or interruptions.
well, 100. You know what I mean? Well, any words, Uncle man, Uncle Guns?
Well, I mean, same thing. You know, you're never alone. You know, you've got to focus on improving yourself. You've got to do things that add to your life, do things that improve your life, and then find people who want to keep doing that with you. Find people that positive people that want to improve your life, that want to add things to your life. Don't do anything that would take away from your life. Don't do anything dangerous or delusional or addictive. Do positive, good things, and chances are good things are going to happen. Other than that, carry a reload, 2 tourniquets, blah, blah, blah. You know the rest.
Word. Any last words?
Thanks.
What?
Hey man, thanks for having me on. As always, it's always great hanging out with the boyos, you know. And last words I'll say, you know, stay based and let the black pill guide you.
Or any last words? I know you just came on, but any last words, self-made, man?
Yeah, man. I'm just hoping the bank teller looks good when I get there. That's all. But yeah, man, I got like Uncle Gun said the best. Um, we're living in like I mean the truth is coming out, but everybody is like kind of I mean David touched on this too, but we're a little like 10 steps behind of like the truth actually revealing itself. Only thing I could tell everybody, and I'm not ideological ideologically driven. I just say that like stock up on your guns and ammunition. You'll be okay.
You gotta be careful with that word. You gotta use the stock up on the Call of Duty. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
stock up on the Call of Duty. There you go.
Stock up on Call of Duty, dude. You're best with the names, dude.
Stock up on your super soakers.
Oh, get them sock 'em boppers. You know what I mean?
Poppers. Yeah, there you go.
More fun than a pillow fight. They don't make toys like that no more. But you know, man, it's been an honor and a pleasure, man. And you know, guys gotta understand, man. You're not alone. You know, in fact, it's not that you're alone. You just get to focus on you know, what's going on. You know what I mean? And the way I look at it, you know, you gotta be logical, man. You know, I know as room, I got you in the back, but you gotta understand, man. The world doesn't owe you anything. You know what I mean? It's like going to your older cousin and saying, "Yo, you owe me something." Dude, he was here before you. Your older cousin's older. You know, he was alive long before you. What does he owe you? Nothing. You know what I mean? And we gotta. The way I look at it, just because you in this manosphere, man, it doesn't mean you're objective. You know, you're outside of us pointing out the problems, man. You know, the world has more than enough space. Fit, you could pile 18 more billion humans. There'd still be enough room. You know what I mean? It's just that society wants to program us that, oh man, there's not enough government, there's not enough room. Yo, what you mean there's not enough room? I mean, let's ask the Native Americans. There were 50 million of them. You know, over 100 million of them in the United States before they got wiped out. So we wiped over 150 million. We still don't got room. You know what I mean? So, nah, man, don't fall for that. But you know, man, we're in a new year, and guys just need to understand, man. All we trying to drop here before I end it is You know what I mean? When you're alone, if you're alone, you're supposed to be, man. You're supposed
You're supposed to be alpha. You're supposed to be alpha. You're supposed to be alpha.